I totally screwed that up. Let's get Julia back on this call. That was nice. Okay, it's done. It's finished. We did it. Yeah, that's why you guys came to this stream, right? I really need to get the dance hall air horns going and fix this up. Nice. Yeah, that's my. Where's my audio engineer? I thought he was here. Where'd he go? Sam Taki, Wagwan, where are you? He left me. See, even he was upset about this. So what's up, everybody? Thanks for coming to the stream. Yeah, Julia, that wasn't actually your fault. Turns out it was my fault. I had left your stream on. So hold on a second. We got Julia back. We're going to turn on this. We're going to turn on this. Hold on. I think I have you muted. We're going to get Julia going. Now we should hear
It's
you.
never
We hear you, and there's no echoes.
okay. It's never been a problem before, so I don't know why all of a sudden it's a problem.
That was my fault.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
that's why it's a problem.
oh. So do I have to wear headphones for the rest of my life now?
I don't think so. Let me just jump back so we can go to our again.
Sure.
There we go.
Okay.
Whoa, you're frozen though.
Whoa.
What happened?
I am frozen. That's bizarre and scary.
That's very.
I'm not really like that, I promise.
Let's try. Weird. Let's try restarting
It's
that
creepy.
video. Can you restart your video and see what happens? Thank you, Jim Plays Games. I can't even start a proper pizza war or pizza argument or food argument like I like to do on poor Jim's channel.
I turned it off and on again.
Oh, there we go. Beautiful. That's the old IT specialist. Did you try turning it off and turning it on again?
And we
How did
all
that
lie
work?
and say, yes, we did, and we don't.
She is very loud and there's a 60 hertz hum. Yeah, I've been trying to work with her on that. I thought that what's the name filtered it out. But you guys, whoops, I didn't really get to talk about the process of sound that I went through for the trailer. But there was a lot of noise for some reason on the mic that Julia had recorded on, so I had to do a lot of noise reduction. But I'll take this moment to say that the noise reduction software in Reaper is really excellent because it's free if you have Reaper, which is $60 if you want a personal license, which is really affordable as DAWs go. Yeah, Bill Kuhn, Sam Taki can pinpoint the hertz because he's been pinpointing the hertz since he can remember. He probably doesn't remember a time when he couldn't, but he's a professional monitor and front of house engineer for tours. So unfortunately, like me, he's also home at the moment, which means, we're not going on tour at the moment or unfortunately, anytime soon. But yeah, we're here. We're talking about video games, specifically one in particular, styled in a 1989 Sierra Online Systems style, which, by the way, will plug Ken's book at some point. But you can go to kensbook.com now if you want to. Yeah, we're making some music for a game that Julia has been building for the last couple of years called The Crimson Diamond. It is an EGA text parser, which means it uses 16 colors, and you type. You type what you want the player to do. You move around, you type. It's great. And let's see. I am the composer for the game, The Crimson Diamond, and I'm using a legit 1987 Roland MT32 first revision unit, which is they pretty much sound exactly the same. The second revision fixed some things and caused other problems for people using previous software, but that's another story. Yeah, Sam Taki, I'm gonna have to call you over here one day and get you to help sort out my stream over here. I've got mixers and I've got keyboards and I've got all kinds of stuff. And the problem is I have so much, it doesn't. It just causes problems. I think it's too much sometimes.
I turned down my gain a little bit. I can turn down it more.
No, that was pretty good. I think you were maybe now you're a little quieter.
Okay, there's something that keeps on flipping itself on for the mic called AGC that I keep having to turn on.
That's automatic gain control.
Yeah, I turned it off because it sucks.
You turned it
Anytime I
off.
can tell.
It actually is
Yes.
pretty good.
I don't know when I record test streams and I have that on,
Yes, it's
it
only
sounds terrible.
good. It's only good in the sense that it's good for this Discord because it basically takes your 60 cycle hum out when you're not talking. But when you're actually using it, it's probably not
Hmm.
good.
No, it sucks. It sucks for that for sure. Oh, and Sam Tacky wants to know what happened to the green screen. So when I downgraded my hardware from the Surface Book 3 back to the Surface Pro 2, the camera on the Surface Pro 2 is not as good. So the green screen looked bad. I ended up like the settings made that I needed to make just looked awful. So I've kind of defaulted to the white screen. Good news is I can now wear all the green shirts that I want and green earrings and everything. Not have to worry.
Well, that is the important thing here, right?
That's the most important thing.
Let me see here. What is going on? Something is going wrong here. That is okay. So I got this plugged
Just
into the
one
wrong
thing.
thing. Nope, I think it's just one thing. Well, I hope it's just one thing. You guys ever
I
see
was
you ever see Back to the Future where Marty's like plugging into the amplifier at the beginning of the movie? He blows out the whole place. I'm hoping I'm not going to do that right now.
Yeah, don't. Um, so I was telling the guys on the pre-stream. Oh no.
That's a
Okay,
good
that's fine.
sound. That's a good sound.
That's a good sound. Okay. So I was telling these guys on the pre-stream that I gave you detailed information of what we're going to be doing today, but some of that might be spoilerific. So I have a vague description I can read to chat so they kind of know what we're going for.
Okay, cool. So I thought I saw somebody before called Con the mom in chat, which is very, very likely my mother. So shout out to my mother who's watching right now, who's probably kind of upset that this is the first time she's watched this, but that's all right.
Hi,
Um,
Dan's mom.
that is mom. Yep. So there you
Oh my
go. Hi,
goodness.
mom. Sam did it. Yeah, there you go. Sammy Buckets. He was at home. I was video chatting with them earlier today, and they were all home watching. So, hi, Lace. What's going on? Yes, and 1985 amplifier blowout, Bill Coon. Amiga Bill. So, did we shout out Amiga Bill, by the way? He's like one
I
of
did
my
on
favorite
mine. You should
favorite
do it on yours
people,
too.
favorite streamers. He's the same guy on stream as he is in person. He's that enthusiastic. He's not putting on a farce. That's the dude. So, shout out
Unlike
to
us.
Amiga Bill. Unlike us, we're very much different. Shout out to Amiga Bill. Oh, yes, I think I can do the shout out now, can't I? Or you can.
You can. You can. I told you how. Here
Yes.
you
But
go.
I think you can do it because you're a mod in the channel
Oh, okay, then I can
on
do that.
Twitch. And I think Sam Tacky and Sammy Buckets also can if they're still both around. So there we go. Yeah, so let's do some music stuff, but you guys were also showing off something here. You were showing off what did you referenced a Wizardry 6? Was that right? Or 5?
It was Wizardry 6 Bane of the Cosmic Forge, the CGA title screen.
Well, let's show that off. I think I've shown this off on
Oh,
stream before, haven't I?
yes, actually, yeah. Oh, it's so nice.
But this is definitely, let's see. I don't know if this is going to show you the CGA version or if you're even going to be able to see it. I'm not sure. What is this?
It looks like
1
EGA.
meg RAM. This is actually the Amiga version. Aha, Amiga
Oh,
Bill. There we
oh.
go. Wizardry. And you might ask, why do I have Wizardry
The
4
Amiga
for Amiga,
version?
or Wizardry 6, sorry, for Amiga? Because it's a game made by Brenda Romero. Well, actually, I'm not even sure what her role was on this game, but I know she had a role on this game. The biggest role she had on a Wizardry game was Wizardry 8, where she was the designer, and that game actually won a lot of awards.
The game was awesome. Yep.
But the majority of those titles in this little cube here, well, all of these titles in this cube here are games that Brenda's worked on. And I guess I don't know if it's a big announcement. It's not really because it's a short-term thing, but I am officially on the Romero Games team, helping with QA for Empire of Sin as they're pushing to try to get this thing done. We have a release date for that. That is another game that I'm working on, coming up and that will be released this year on December 1st, 2020 by Paradox Interactive is the publisher, and the game development team is Romero Games, based in Galway, Ireland. I am going to try to get up at 4:45 a.m. for a meeting that I have with them tomorrow, because it's 9:45 in the morning for them. But I'm 5 hours behind, so we'll see what happens. We'll try to do that. I told them as long as I can get on with no camera, I'm good. So, thank you, Amiga Bill. Thank you. Yeah, so the dithering stuff is really cool. By the way, I think that might have been my favorite image, was the picture that Julia put on Twitter the other day with the 4 different versions of the background, or the 4 different
okay.
versions of the the museum.
Yes.
I think that might have been one of my favorite pictures.
Oh, nice. Thanks. I appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool. I hope you guys liked it and saw it. If you haven't, check out Julia's Twitter, which is. Can I shout out a Twitter on that same thing? I'm not even sure.
I don't think so.
No. Okay.
Nope.
You could put the link in there though, right?
Oh, yeah. I can put
Autocorrect is self-aware. That's right. And we should also shout out Jim Plays Games. If you guys don't know, Jim Plays Games is a streamer based in the UK. So I don't even know why or how he's up right now. I don't think he sleeps. That's the most likely situation.
Yeah, I think that's the key.
He's possibly a vampire, because he does have the vampire haircut. So it's very possible he is like, one of those guys from True Blood or something like that. But he's also a game developer, which I didn't have any idea until I watched his stream and got to check a little bit of that out. And I haven't really dove in too deeply, but I think you're about to finish, or you just finished an RPG game, Jim Plays Games. Or
Yes.
I think it's published under Jim Makes Games. I think that's the company that's published it, right? Yes, it's coming out later this year. Okay, cool. So yes, it is not out yet, but it's coming out soon, and it's a retro-styled. It looks kind of like a JRPG. I'm not too sure if it's a JRPG or more of an action RPG, but it looks really cool, and I want to check that out. And I've been watching him and starting Pizza Wars on his streams. It's more of a tactical RPG. Oh, interesting. So it's kind of probably shares some design ideas with Empire of Sin. I know Empire of Sin's influenced by a lot of those, the combat, especially the tactical aspect of XCOM, but there's some Sim City elements, there's some Civilization elements to it. There's all kinds of different combinations of things stuffed into one game, but the tactical RPG is cool. Good. I'm glad you appreciate the Pizza Wars, because it's a real thing. Guys, this is an important PSA I'm going to have to do. And Julia's face will tell you probably all you need to know. Pineapple is a wonderful, amazing, tasty fruit. Good for you. Awesome. It does not go on a pizza. Should I repeat that? Pineapple does not go on a pizza. I don't care what Domino's ad you've seen or what Pizza Hut. What's the one in Canada? You said Boston Pizza or something like that?
No, don't even mention that name.
Right. See, there you go. You can't even mention that. And I'm sure they serve pineapple on their pizza over there.
Well, that's the thing. Everywhere does.
No, everywhere does not. Maybe one of my show and tells later in the stream will be a menu from a restaurant that has 0 pineapple options on any of their pizzas.
Yeah, please do, actually. I'd like to see that.
Listen, now, flatbreads, you could talk about that. Flatbread, when they use the word flatbread pizza, it's kind of like a joke. It's not really pizza, just like Chicago-style pizza is not pizza. It's either a quiche or a calzone, whatever you prefer. A calzone with the top missing, which I guess is a quiche, right? Same kind of thing. And what did they say? Who said something else? Burgers. You could do that with. I mean, listen. I don't care what else you put it on. I'm just saying you got it. You can't put it on pizza. Illy Swank, welcome. What
Dan's
kind of
mom
fruit
says
does go on pizza? Well, that's an easy answer.
her favorite pizza is Hawaiian pizza, so.
Who?
I don't know.
There's no
how
such
you're
thing
gonna
as
argue
Hawaiian
against that.
pizza. Con the mom. My mother is saying that. That's because she
Yes.
lives still in Seattle. So all of my family and myself included, I was born and raised in Seattle, but I moved here almost 20 years ago. And unfortunately, a lot of those things were beaten out of me. That I don't have the pineapple pizza. I don't know if I was ever really a fan of, but yes. And Sammy Buckets nailed it. What fruit does go on a pizza? A tomato. Absolutely. You can put tomatoes on pizza. You can put tomato sauce on pizza. That's totally acceptable. You can also put whole tomato, or not whole tomatoes, but you can put tomato slices on a pizza if you like. Totally acceptable. Margarita slices, very good. Cheese, various types of cheese.
What about
Olives, I
olives?
think, are
What else
acceptable.
raises a good point?
I think olives are acceptable. And I
They're
think
fruit.
olives are fruits, right?
Yeah.
Are they? I don't know. Somebody needs to look
Yeah.
that up.
They have a pit in them. Yeah. They're like a stone fruit, I'm assuming.
So does that define a fruit? Because is an avocado then a fruit as well? It is, right?
Yes.
It
Yes.
is. Okay. Good. So
Yeah.
welcome to the fruit stream. This is
Oh
the
my
fruit
goodness.
education stream. We are horticulturists. Um, Julia is an herbologist. I am a what's the one? What's the other one? Marine biologist? No, that's fish and water. Yeah, whatever. Well, that's what we are. Culinarily, I also say mushrooms are also vegetables. But what they're not a vegetable. They're a fungus, right? So is that not a vegetable?
Yeah, they're completely something else. Yeah. They have their own
Like
kind of
beans?
what?
Like beans. Beans aren't a
Beans are a
fruit.
vegetable.
They are?
Are they fruit? They might be a fruit. Oh God. Okay, how about this? Would you would everyone like to hear what I have written for Dan for the notes for the next piece we're going to be composing?
Nobody would like to hear that. Oh, nice. Cool, Alfred. Yeah, so Alfred, I suggested in the Discord, by the way, I think the link is up there, but if you guys want to join the Discord, I have a Discord dedicated to music and also some video games, and it's a cool place for anybody interested in making music or making games. More on the music side of things. We're going to talk about that. Alfred just posted a remix. I told him to post it in the main area so everybody could kind of hear it and people can get feedback, and it's pretty cool. Anyway, go ahead, Julia.
Okay, great. Look at that. Oh, what time is it? Okay, look at that. It's 9 o'clock, so we barely wasted any time.
That's
Wonderful.
right.
Okay, so I mentioned before some of the music we were writing or Dan's written has been sort of bookends for chapters. So chapter one, end of chapter one, beginning of chapter two, and that type of thing. So stuff that goes at the beginning of end, and what Dan's done so far has been pretty. I would consider pretty elaborate because it's multiple tracks. So like the ragtime stuff it's to me like more composed than what I'm looking for the next part to sort of contrast those bookends. What we're looking for is we have a sequence in chapter two. We need some looping music because it's kind of a cutscene, but the player controls the speed that the text boxes get cleared, so it can't be a finite, limited song length. It has to loop as long as the player is in that scene. So we need two potentially two bits of looping music. The first loop, which Dan had a ragtime piece for the near the end of the intro sequence, which was when they're in the car and they're driving to the lodge. And so we haven't completely finished that piece, but it's entirely possible that loop one could be covered with that same loop because it's going to be the same type of thing, traveling music. Although this one is a daytime one versus the nighttime traveling music for the end of the intro. So there's a potential that we won't even need the first loop, but that's something to think about. And the second loop, there's kind of a sort of someone they receive a sort of a surprising piece of news where everything kind of turns a little bit, where it gets a little bit tense and there's a kind of an intrigue of what's going to happen next. And near the end of it, there should be a determination to kind of overcome what that difficulty is and what's going to happen next. So yeah, first loop traveling music, second loop is kind of, oh no, an interesting surprising piece of news has been discovered, and that's sort of the two loops we're looking at. And yeah, in terms of complexity, just something kind of backgroundy, and the chapter bookends I feel like are kind of more like set because those ones don't loop, and we have more control over those.
Interesting. So
Yes.
let's start with the really maybe basic slash boring questions, and let me jump over
Okay.
to here. Oh, and I think, Julia, I hate to do this to you, but I think I'm gonna shrink you.
Oh, that's fine with me.
Whoa, she's shrinking. Okay.
Oh my god.
That's pretty good mime work there. She's a mime and a VO artist.
Oh boy, yeah, triple threat over here.
Triple threat.
Yeah,
So, does that look okay? Does Julia, is she all right in there? Or did I
that's fine.
help? Did I help? I put her in a nutshell kind of thing. Okay, there we go.
Hmm.
All right, so this is not the actual file that we want, but what I want to do is just save a copy of this and use this as the template for the next. Let's not save the audio files. We don't even need the plugins settings. We just need this here. Okay, so we're going to go to our Pro Tools 2020 TCD. And we're going to call this, we're going to use a working title for now. And what should the working title be? Chapter 2 Loops?
Yes, sure.
Is that descriptive enough, or can we, Chapter 2 Plot Twist Loops or something like that? Or plot,
Well,
not plot
the
twist.
first one is traveling music loop. Second would be like a twist loop. Yeah.
Shrink a little more. Yeah, I want to be nerdy. So a twist loop. Let's call it a twist loop. Is it loop or loops? Because we're doing two, or are we going to do one?
Oh, well, I would probably just do one twist loop and one traveling loop. Although, like I said, we kind of have one, the ragtimey bit you kind of had for the end of the intro. We could always reuse that for the
Right,
traveling loop,
right,
or,
right,
or
right.
kind of tweak it because that's a traveling at nighttime loop, and the second traveling piece would be kind of daytime where you can see scenery and it's kind of real nice out and stuff.
Ooh, I did not
So
save it
kind
in
of
the
up to
right
you.
spot, but that's okay.
Oh boy, we're off to a great start.
That's all right. So here we are. Okay, and I can get rid of all this stuff. You know what? I don't like this. I'm not going to do
Already?
this. Yeah, I don't. I don't like
We
it.
haven't even done anything
I
yet.
think it might. I think it might have put my audio files where I don't want them.
Hmm.
So let's not do that. Let's do this. I don't want any deleted audio files and come back later and I don't have these files, and that would not be cool. So let's do this now. Let's open the right file here and we'll get there. So you can do what I just did, but Pro Tools is weird, and so is most DAWs. They don't have like proper version control like you have with coding or with you know, how do you do version control, Julia, with the Crimson Diamond?
That's that's my answer. What I do is every day I work and then I save it as a completely different file with a date. That's it. That's my version control. It doesn't exist.
So you don't have you're not using Git or anything like
Nope.
that. GitHub.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
So
But the thing is, the files are so small that it doesn't even matter really. You know.
well, it does matter for its version control.
Okay.
So if you wanted to do varying versions of the game and you know one isn't broken, although probably this would be a good question to ask Grundislav and
Mm-hmm.
Dave Gilbert, and well, Dave less so because he's less of a solo developer.
Mm-hmm.
But Francisco is more of a solo developer, so he'd be a good guy to ask because. Oh, this is interesting. Jim Plays Games says I have no understanding of how GitHub works. The interesting thing is, so you have all the ability to make the games, but then yeah, there you go, Davor. Davor said it. Hi, I'm a developer. Please have version control. I mean, does it make a difference, Furroy? Like, because I think you should still put it up there, and then yeah, if you save over something, or if you've gone to a step and you broke the whole game somehow, I guess maybe AGS is not as susceptible as something like Unity or Unreal Engine, or Usually you're going to have larger teams working on those type of projects, I would think. You could do solo dev in Unity. But code witchery, I can help with Git for artists sometime. That would be awesome because version control is something that I think, yeah. And Jim Plays Games makes an important point. Self-taught developers do everything the hard way until they stumble on the better way. Here's the thing, though. I don't think this is necessarily the better way. I think it's probably the only way or the only way to protect yourself. Because if you don't have proper version control and you do something and you break the game or something deletes, then you're kind of toast. So imagine 3-4 years of your life, or longer in some cases,
No, that's no. Wait a second. If I if
disappears.
I if I break something completely, then I have yesterday's like everything in its entirety, and it's like 100 MB. And so I have October, whatever the yesterday was, October 12th, and I have that entire thing, and every single last bit of it is completely 100 and something megabytes, and I just go back to that one. So
And
it
is
kind of
it
is the
backed up
version
in
of
the
version control,
cloud
but
and all these things?
oh yeah, every
Oh,
single
okay.
version is backed up. So on my Google Drive and my external, that's where every single version is. So there's two places where every single version is. There's four places where the latest version is. Yeah,
Okay.
therefore I've got it into multiple places. So yeah, so Google Drive has every version has every full working thing, and my OneDrive and my desktop and everything. So there's four places where the most recent version is, and there's two places where the every single version ever has been. So
So Furroy, because Furroy's making games obviously, and is I think you're doing it by yourself, right, Furroy? Do you have you don't have a team that you're working with for the actual coding of the game, do you? He's using repos for inside a OneDrive folder, and that's basically kind of protecting him from version control. That's the whole name of the game. And why do I know anything about this? The answer is I don't know anything about this, but I'm starting to study it for good reason, and I'll talk about that later. But I'm
mhm.
starting to study it because I'm going to eventually work on it. But yeah, exactly. You have to know version control for software development. But I think game development should not be different. Yeah, just me really, and I still use yeah. So I can get blame. Yeah, but you broke things, but you still can go back to a previous fork. So like a couple of days before, a day before, whatever. Yeah, I mean that's a whole nother story, Sam Tacky. Think about version control in audio, or even in video. Like you think about, oh well, they lost the master tapes for this transfer of video, so there's no way to get it except for, some previously released version that they're, showing you or whatever, recoding it. Yeah, I don't think it's that complex though, but I think it would take, probably takes a couple of hours to learn the
Mhm.
process. But I don't think it's that. I don't think version control with Git or something is that complex. I could be wrong about that, but my brother Sammy Buckets is a developer. Freud is a game developer. Davor, I think, is a software developer full time. Um, I know there's a bunch of other people in here that are game developers and software developers and all kinds of things in between. So
I'm definitely not against learning it. Like I'm always open to learning new stuff. Um, I'd be interested to see how it would be better than what I'm doing. For the size of game that I'm working on, etc. But yeah, I'd be curious to learn more about it. It's just one of those things where I've never run into it myself because I've not had an opportunity.
I think Furroy probably just put it the best. You can get yourself into a pickle if you aren't careful. And what he means by that is years and years and years of work screwed up somehow. God only knows. I don't want to know, but yes.
I
There you
definitely don't
go.
want that to happen for
Davor
sure.
says basic use of version control is quite simple. Version control as a solo dev is very simple version control.
Hmm.
That's because you have nobody else affecting your code except you, right? So
Yes. Yeah.
somebody didn't make a change and break the whole thing and whatever. You're not looking at hundreds of Jira tickets or something like that, you know, as a solo dev. I hope not anyway. The sciences of archiving is something I would like to see a talk on. For the Gabriel Knight 20th anniversary, they had to re-record all the voice acting with a new cast
Hmm.
because the original recordings could not be found. Yeah, and Ken Williams actually talked about that. Not that game, but Phantasmagoria. He talked about the fact that they had to cram all that audio and video information onto 7 CD-ROMs. And he said the resolution had to be shrunk so much. So it went, it went to crap. So, that's rough. Yeah, the original CGI for Star Wars. Oh, and if you watch Jim Plays Games stream, he's got a great like reward that you can press, and it's a thing that says, "Jim, stop talking about Star Trek." And then all of a sudden Picard comes on and goes, "Shut up, Wesley," and I just use it randomly because it's fun. I have no idea whether he's talking about Star Trek or not most of the time, but I just like that. So yeah, it's definitely useful. It's definitely useful, and it will probably save somebody's butt. So it's like when they tell you to put fire. What is it? Fire smoke detectors in every room in your house. You don't really need them until you need them, and you don't know when you need them. That kind of thing. Hopefully your house doesn't burn to the ground, and hopefully your project that you've been working on for years and years doesn't burn to the ground. It's like smoke detectors, except these are better than smoke detectors. They can actually they're like fire extinguishers, automatic fire extinguishers. Oh, there's a fire here, spray it out, boom. So, oh, nice. Thank you, Bill. Yeah, so Vintage Computer Festival in New Jersey. I think Amiga Bill also was on there, and I'm not sure. I think he did a stream as well from that festival. But yeah, Ken did a talk, and he's also got his book as well, which is coming out soon. And that's on the history, at least, I'm not sure it's so much the history. It's more like the whole process from the beginning to the end when it crashed. And I think he sold the company and then left the company 2 years after that. Amiga Bill streamed how to stream. Nice. Nice. Well, listen, vintage computer streaming is no joke. No joke. Inception. Great. Yeah, he's kind of the video master, which is his professional day job. Is I'm not exactly sure all the stuff he does, but I know he knows a lot about cameras, and he does work with Netflix and all kinds of other video companies, and so it's pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. And if you watch his streams, you'll see a lot of cool stuff like his vintage cameras. He'll be streaming from various cameras. He'll show you different cool things. His stream's just really nice. If you haven't seen it, it's typically on Sunday afternoons for those of us in the Eastern time zone. But it's really enjoyable. And I recommend you tune in. So, we're going to make some music, I think. I think we should.
Ooh, I hope so.
Now, the question is, here's the thing. Here's the tough part right now. So this is a good moment, I think, to talk about it. Although we're not able to talk about this with you guys right now because it may be a spoiler for the game, think about it this way. If you are a composer on a game, depending on the level of what's the best way to put it? Depending on the relational level, you may or may not get a lot of information about your job. When I first got hired to work on Empire of Sin, I didn't know the name of the game. I didn't know much about it other than it was 1920s Prohibition Chicago, which kind of gave me it didn't give me enough, but it gave me an idea about what the approach needed to be, where the music itself was situated in. But there's also a lot of updated sounds that kind of need to be in there to make it sound like a modern video game and not a Charlie Chaplin silent film. You don't really want, it's not quite Cuphead. Did they sneak in any Lovecrafty stuff? Well, I don't really know what that is. And I'm going to say no, but I'm not sure.
Science fiction.
I don't know if I don't know if I could answer that. I don't really know. Is that like that squid head guy?
Yes, Cthulhu guy. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know very little about it. That's like horror stuff, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think so, Cosmic horror.
Cosmic horror, yes.
Phenomenal cosmic powers.
Mm-hmm.
Itty bitty living space.
Squid horror. That's what
Uh,
Dan calls it. Squid horror.
squid horror, yeah. Well, squid horror, geez. You ever eat bad squid at a restaurant? That's a squid horror right there. Holy
Well,
crap.
usually bad squid at a restaurant is just overcooked, which means it's chewy.
Sometimes it doesn't make you feel too hot either.
Huh. Hmm.
Bad squid could be
What's the
very
worst
chewy.
squid you've ever had then? Because I've only had the really chewy, overcooked
Too
squid.
many to remember. That's why I'm very careful about eating it now.
Hmm. Hmm.
Uh, how have you had it prepared? Is it always fried?
Grilled. I
Grilled?
like
You've had
grilled.
grilled. Now grilled, I usually have octopus. I don't know if I have squid.
Hmm. I think I've had them
Chewy
both. I
squid.
like it with a bit of like lemon and stuff. That's how I prefer it. I don't like all the bready fried stuff too much.
See, that's a popular Italian appetizer here. To
I
have
love it too, but not
they
as
do
much.
grilled octopus as well as a
Hmm.
popular Italian dish, I think. Or I should not say Italian. I should say New York Italian, which is a little bit different than Italian Italian. Bad calamari. Yeah, exactly. He was busy studying jazz. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think there's any horror elements too far out of what you'd think the game is. But you can watch the streams on that game. I'm not sure if there's one this week. I think there is one this week. I think they're doing it weekly now on Thursdays, and that's like Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern time. But they're only on for an hour, so they're on and they're off. It just goes
Hmm.
real quick. Some of the streams are going to be with the developers, which could be Brenda, could be John, could be Chris, could be Ian, the combat designer, could be Katie, one of the writers, could be various people. And then the other weeks are the guys from Paradox that are the Twitch guys, and they'll do it. It's pretty cool. You can learn a lot about the game. Yeah, Furroy was on there the other day. I saw him. Edenway said, I had a lobster at Red Lobster once. It was overcooked and rubbery, but the lobster I've cooked at home came out much better. Yeah, I mean, Red Lobster is kind of like the McDonald's of lobster, I guess. I don't know. That's not a great description. They're better than McDonald's, but they're like the TGI Fridays, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
It's not like a proper lobster spot.
I
Even
do love it though.
even Joe's Crab Shack is quite good, considering. John has made a few good games. Yeah, John Romero's made a couple of good games. He made a game called Doom,
Oh yeah,
Wolfenstein.
I think I've heard of that one.
Wolfenstein, did you hear of that one?
Oh, maybe,
One
maybe.
called Commander Keen.
Commander Keen.
He made another game called Daikatana,
Yep.
which he still gets a lot of crap for, but it's actually pretty
Yeah,
cool.
he is a
Um,
legend for sure. Jim Best
yeah.
Games.
Well, Mousimus Paradox is probably the publisher that you most buy games from. Well, apparently the relationship with Paradox is really good. I don't know too much about it, but I know that Romero Games Camp is very happy working with them, so it's a nice partnership there, and I think that's going to lead to a great launch on December 1st. Yeah, that'll be really cool. Daikatana is actually incredible. Didn't I show off a nice, beautiful sealed copy that I had? I think you can see it right there. That is Daikatana right there. Oh yeah, Dangerous Dave. I won't forget Dangerous Dave. Masters of Doom, Amiga Bill mentioned. I had a copy. I think I moved it because when we have the cleaners here, they tend to touch my autograph stuff, and I don't like that. So I think I moved it. But yeah, I got more meat at a clam shack near Wantagh train station than New York and Red Lobster. Yeah, from the Empire scene, Sin, Bullets or Ballots. I've never seen that movie, but I can tell you there's a lot of elements to it. I've actually put in like over 100 hours already on the game, and I barely have scratched the surface. I haven't really got that far into the game yet, so.
When
But
I
it's
was at PAX
testing.
East in Boston for PAX East, I ordered I went to a seafood place and I ordered like a crab and lobster thing. It was busy because it was PAX East, so I had to sit at the bar and just kind of dissect this lobster and crab legs and everything just at the bar. And I was there for like 2 hours probably, and it was just a mess. And my fingers started to bleed, and it was awesome
Your fingers were bleeding?
because the shells, right? you
Well,
know?
I mean, I've never had that happen before.
I really
Interesting.
go for it.
Interesting. Very interesting. Ah, Rick3636, aka the Pickle Rick, is here. What's
Oh,
up,
hey,
bro?
Rick.
Um, really? What, so this must have been the night, either the night before I got there or the night after I left.
You were at PAX East this year? No, you
Yes.
were. Yeah.
Yeah.
So no, the first night
That's
I
where we
came
met,
in.
by the way.
That's right. Yeah, the shells are sharp. Thank you. Yeah, so it was the night I came in, and there was just I hadn't met up with anyone or anything. I think it was the Friday night or something. And yeah, no, I used to, they give you the thing like the weird reverse pliers, whatever that is, the nutcracker looking thing, and they give. I wish that they gave me a pair of scissors or something.
Well,
Um,
they don't. They usually give you those crackers and like a tool, like a scooper picker thing, right?
yeah, I'm not really that good at those things. I never, it's not one of those things I got a lot of practice with growing up, so
You
just
probably have
gotta
to
make do.
you probably have to watch one of those videos, one of those
Yeah,
YouTube
I just
videos
did
where
not.
you know, Anthony Bourdain or somebody went all over the place and found it,
Yeah.
Davor says, I don't really like the idea of buying games that I'm supposed to put. So here's the thing. The game is not really meant to put 200 or 100 hours in. You can probably finish it in under 20, but it's replayable. That's their whole thing. New title unlocked, The Bare-Handed Lobster Carver. If you've met Julia, her stature is quite intimidating. She's probably 8 or 9 feet tall. I'm not exactly sure. I never measured, but if you meet her in person, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I
So,
was gonna just eat the shells included, but I was at the
oh
bar and I didn't want
wow,
to scare everyone else away. No, I'm joking. It's fine.
nice. 8'9". Yeah, she may be 8'9". I'm not too sure. Oh, crawfish. I love crawfish. We eat those in Jamaica. They call them pepperfish in Jamaica. I think they're essentially the same thing as crawfish, crayfish. Depending on where you are, they'll call them something different. You probably eaten those, right, Julia?
Probably, I guess. They're a lot easier to open than crab and lobster for sure.
So, let's make some noise.
Yes. Let's see. Sounds churchy.
It is.
Yes. It's got good mood.
Does it fit the right? Play the organ music from King's Quest 4. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today. So can you set up harpsichord? Would be cool, Alfred. That's a very good idea. Can we put crawdads on our pizza? What? No. Are you using a volume pedal? No, I'm not. I like the harpsichord idea, though. That's a really good idea.
Mm.
Let's change this up and find.
It sounds like a soap opera.
I like that sound, and I like the mixture of those two. Vegan pizza, interesting. So that means it would have no cheese. So let's define a couple of things. This is what I wanted
Okay.
to ask you before. What is the time limit or the time length that you'd
Well,
like this loop to last until the loop point? And does everybody know what we mean by a loop? It just starts over again and you kind of really don't notice that it starts over again. Just continually plays.
that's a good question. I mean, the thing is, it really depends on how long people keep those text boxes up. So it's kind
Well,
of
let's
hard to say.
let's go by what the either the average or the longest person would
Right.
go by as
Right.
opposed to, you know,
So I would say, how long were the bookends? Like
10
12
seconds,
seconds,
12
10, 12
seconds.
seconds.
Yeah. So that's not much of a loop. That's
Yeah,
really
that's
too
not much of
short
a
to be
loop.
a loop.
Yeah.
If you do that, it's going to just kind of be
Hmm.
annoying to people.
Hmm.
Mousimus. Well, that's the whole idea. He says all these are ominous sounds. Where is the story going? Well, that's kind of the goal here. We're going to leave you with a large question mark or
Hmm.
question marks. I think that's what we're trying to do right now, right?
Yeah.
So we have to be, I think, for a loop with any kind of text. How long would it take you to read through all the text if you kind of read it at a regular person rate instead of speed reader rate?
That's a good question. I sent you the video, but I kind of didn't. I don't know if I timed out what the speed would be like for that. Um, Maybe I should play it on my own quickly and still be on stream and time it or
Will your
something.
computer fry?
I know it should be fine. Um,
Oh, that's what they always say.
that's what they always say. Let me.
Say
I'm gonna
say goodbye to
try.
Julia.
Bye, just in case. Bye. I'll be back. Okay.
It's
And then I'll set a timer up, and then I'll let you know vaguely what the whole. So this is going to be. This is twist loop for the twist loop.
okay. The twist
Okay.
loop.
So you can't hear the sound, can you? The audio coming from me, just me?
I'm not hearing anything at the moment.
Okay, good, good. So that's my intention. And well, you know what? I'm telling you, the music sounds a lot better in headphones. I never wear headphones.
Oh, this music?
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Well,
yeah.
everything does. I just don't like wearing headphones all the time.
Yes, I believe it was one of the Fettuccini brothers. I got that one, Bill. And it was Bill
So let me
Murray who
just.
said that line too. Wasn't
Right.
it?
I'm gonna
I think
time
it was.
for this. But you can't see my earrings when I'm wearing headphones. Scary. That sounds like a scary song.
So I'm trying to get like some different chord movements.
Okay.
So if you're in this key, C minor, and by the way, I'm working on getting a an angle so you guys can actually see what the heck I'm playing because right now it's not exactly ideal. I don't want to give anybody too much seasickness here. So I'm trying to get like a different chord progression. Right now I have C minor, if that's the root, and then I move to B minor, which is a pretty odd movement. I can move even one half step again. That's really not, there's no good way to analyze that harmonically. Dave, or I just read that as I just got back from running errands wearing earrings. For some reason, I read earrings in there too. Anyway, 200 words take 1.5 minutes. So how many words are in your text?
That would have been good to figure out. I'm just kind of eyeballing it right now.
Well,
The
I'm putting
timer.
you on the spot in a good way because these are questions that I would ask any developer hiring me to do something if they didn't want to give me certain information about the game, which I understand. So, yeah, I would want to know, I would try to get as many answers as I could. You know, hey, do I have to use this specific set of instruments? Do I need to? We obviously know the instrument already. We know the game already, but we don't know the scene in particular. So, is it not in a word processor? It is in a word processor, very
It is
likely.
not in a word processor.
Ah,
Yeah,
see? There you
I
go.
write it directly into the engine.
So, Dave, or you want to see Julia wear like those cat headphones that you see all the streamers with? I think we're trying to do a little something different here on the stream since we never play games, and I think the majority of Twitch is playing games, or some people play music and sing along and stuff. That's only going to happen probably on Julia's channel. So make sure if you don't follow her already and subscribe to her, you follow and subscribe to her channel now because that's important. Yeah, just chatting. I've never really got that. I don't really see. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. That's pretty cool.
I like that. Looks like about 2.5 minutes the sequence that we're going to be doing it for. So
2.5 minutes.
about 2.5 minutes.
Interesting. At the start of Citizen Kane, the movie, Phoenicia? Among Us. I don't get that game at all. Dude, me neither. And that's like one of the most popular things on Twitch. Your boy T-Pain is playing it all the time, Sam Tacky. I see him on there. And I don't get your boy. I know he has a lot of viewers or whatever. I just don't get it. It's not. I don't know. It's not my thing.
It's a bit epic. So Sam Packy with the technical knowledge. Yeah, it's hard for me to just copy and paste into a Word document because each line of dialogue has code in it, so I'd have to copy just the stuff that's in the quotation marks, the string messages, and then put it in the. Yeah, it's a whole thing. But yeah, it's about 300. Yeah, so it's about 2.5 minutes altogether. So how long do you figure the loop should be then, Dan? Like 30
Two,
seconds,
two and a half
25
minutes.
seconds? Yeah.
You don't think it should be 2.5 minutes?
The whole piece?
Or could it be a little, maybe, I mean, you wouldn't want it to loop too many times, but I guess since it's such a short piece. Oh, here's another good question. Well, you decide if it's a good question. Can we use this piece again? Will we refer to this music anywhere else in the game?
Well, we definitely could. And then I find as we would do more stuff, I can see myself reusing more of the stuff. For instance, yeah, the traveling music for the first loop, we could definitely reuse something we already have. So, yeah.
Right. And this is the good reason to do the way we're doing it. You guys are looking. I should have you looking at this screen. This is the arrangement screen. So this will put all the notes and things, and this gives us like the horizontal layout of where the music is going. Excuse me. You guys have seen this before. And then here is the mixer view. So this is just giving me controls over the actual audio that's being output through each channel. But this screen is what we need to pay attention to at the moment because we need a marker here, not a marker, a counter here. We can add minutes and seconds. This will give us the time. So we can just go and we can also scale the view if we want. But this will give us roughly where we need to get to. So if we're going to go for 45 seconds, we need to be here somewhere. If we're going to go for a minute here, and I can change the scale of this. Now we're like looking at 20 minutes, but we're not that. The song's going to be short. So that's probably a good scale. Yeah. Jim plays games. I like that the mixer has twisty things and slidey things. Dude, you haven't seen nothing yet. It has lights, too. Flashing lights. Oh, man. Would around a 1 minute loop last you a good while? Yeah, I think so. I think around a minute, 45 seconds to a minute is probably where we want to be, because this is a type of game where if you're going to replay it, some adventure games people like to replay, some people don't replay adventure games, but or if you've saved and you're reading this dialogue again for the second time, you're gonna probably want to skip through it quick,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
So I think maybe under a minute is probably a good idea, even though I'd love to write the piece for 2.5 minutes. So we need some feelings, because I think we kind
Right.
of have the feelings, but the one word we have is twist, and it's kind of a plot twist, but we need some more feelings. I think feeling words to try to get out of this what we want here.
Well, I was saying, a bit tense, a bit surprising, um, kind of a what's next kind of feeling. But because it's a cozy mystery overall, nothing too extreme in terms of too scary, too tense,
Oh, I should
too.
be looking at your email then, right?
Yeah, yeah, please, yeah, sure. But I mean, yeah, that would probably help. I do have just a vague taboo style like stuff we can say on the notes that I have. But yeah, definitely would anything would help. Jim plays
Okay.
games, wants to know what the replay value of the Crimson Diamond is. Can it go differently with a different playthrough? At the moment, I'm planning at the very end of maybe I think 3 or 4 different endings, but the entire game does not branch too much. Only at the very end does it branch, depending on sort of your outcome and how well you've learned the game. There's going to be some kind of debriefing or some type of, not really a quiz. I'm going to try to make it's a quiz, but I don't want to have it structured as a quiz, to kind of test what your knowledge is. And based on that, at the end, it will give you a particular ending or not. So not it kind of depends. There's already, as I'm designing it, there's a few things that aren't specifically addressed in the notebook that you should do or can do, but are plot points. But if you miss them, it's fine as long as you get the main storyline done. Oh wow, Deluxe Tux has played the demo like 4 times. That's good to
See,
know.
there you go. Will this be
Yeah.
on the test? You're goddamn right it will be. And I'm looking here. So you just said tense and surprising. Are those the words you were using?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I said that. Yeah, tense, surprising.
Unexpected. Unexpected.
Unexpected, exactly. Yeah. So you get a bit of news that you weren't expecting, and everyone's kind of surprised in a bit. The news is not great news. It's
Right.
kind of, something not great has happened, and so everyone's kind of left to figure out how they feel about it.
So it's like 2020 music.
Yes, yes,
The theme
yes.
song of this year. It's like this
Yeah,
isn't good, not good. We're not sure what the heck is going on. We're
yes.
surprised, but nothing's good. Oh, 2P Alfred F. Jones, aka Alfred, is getting tired and is out of here later. Thank you for
Yes.
joining
Have a
us on
good night.
stream.
Thank you.
I like this here. The labyrinth looping music in Zelda is only 20 seconds. And that's interestingly enough, I chose similar chord progressions to that. There was probably influenced in there. Close to that. But I kind of like that.
It's pretty great already.
But we need about 45 seconds of that, huh? So I feel like, and you're going to be reading dialogue. It's kind of like a cut scene, right? That's how we've
Hmm.
described it. I'm hearing that. I'm hearing that. Okay. I'm hearing something else here. I feel almost like the music itself could be, what's the best way to say it? The music itself could have that tension, but then maybe the instruments could be more subtle.
Hmm.
So it wouldn't be so punchy out front in your definitely got
Yeah.
this. Not that. For an
Not
example,
yet.
that's not it. Yeah, this is the combat scene. There's a lot of arcade action combat sequence in this game, right?
Yeah, that's later though, so we
Mortal
don't have to worry
Kombat,
about it yet.
exactly. Oh, I'm going to the wrong thing many times. We don't have to worry about that. That's pretty cool.
It's a bit spooky swamp.
Too spooky swamp? Maybe it's the sound. Whoops. Just lost a mouse.
Yeah, exactly. Jim plays games. Nancy with a shotgun taking out zombies in the graveyard. Oh, I like that sound, yeah. I like that it actually still might be too much, but I really like
The
this.
sound?
Yes. I can see that working when it's further along in the game where it's like more heightened, but this
So
is kind of
let's
the
let's do
first-
this. Let's record this with this
Okay,
sound
yes.
now, and then we'll
Perfect.
change the sound later and see if we can get that subtlety out of it.
Perfect.
Because that's what I was saying before. I was click, click, click somewhere in there for the tempo. So we're in that range. Create click track. This will be a little annoying for you guys for the minute, but we'll hear it. And why don't I hear it?
Blame me.
Oh, I know why. Because it's trying to send over the... Whoops. Nope. It's trying to send over the HDMI, and I need it to be sending over the interface. Yeah, there was... somebody else was asking me today in another Discord, and if you guys are avid watchers of our buddy The Renaissance on stream, one of the people that is on his streams every once in a while called Red Ox PDX, if any of you know her, she was actually asking today in his Discord about streaming and using mixers. Apparently she's got a baby grand piano that she wants to do some live streaming on, which would be awesome. But yeah, it's going to take a lot of equipment to do that, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it. So now we should hear this click track. There we go. More than 45 seconds. Very Angelo Badalamenti. I don't know him. Which Which soundtrack did he use? Oh, let me shut this annoying thing off. Oh, Twin Peaks. Okay, I never really watched that stuff.
I want to.
I think I tried to start it, but it wasn't really for me. I don't know. Thanks, Jim Plays Games. I really like that ending there with the weird harmony. I feel like that maybe could go in there. It's kind of weird. It's a little out there for 1914, but it might work.
Yeah, this is great. There's definitely places where I can see this working.
So there I did. What the? Where's Lace to tell me what scale this is? Whatever, it's really cool. That was maybe a happy accident because I didn't mean to play that C in there. See, that's the thing. Like you're trying to get melody, so sometimes Lace. Yeah, I can't pronounce anybody's name right. I should put that in my Twitch bio. Hi, if you're watching my channel, I will mispronounce your name, even if you're my mother. Jim Plays Games I do okay with, but pretty much everybody else's Sam Tacky I do okay with, Amiga Bill with. I can't pronounce a Maple Mystery probably half the time, and anyway. Throat Wobbler Mangrove. Shut up, Wesley. I really need a sound like that. That's so awesome. I love it. And I love the fact that you can put I don't know how to do all this stuff in Twitch yet, but we got to get on this stuff, Julia, where you can put all these cool sounds in and,
I know.
the Dr. Mikachu's shark interruptions and
Yes.
stuff like that. I mean, I love it.
Awesome.
See, this is what's so great about it. Jim's giving some great talk, and then all of a sudden you just, bam, you hit shut up, Wesley, and it's right in the middle of something important he was saying. Or same with Dr. Mikachu. It's like, oh, and then you hit a shark interruption. Right as she's like this tender moment, she's like trying to describe, like pouring her heart out, and all you can think of is interrupting her with a shark. Is it just me?
A word about Fred.
Is it just
It's
me?
kind of one of my favorites.
Am I a bad guy?
Akima PG says, sounds like a 90s police game like Blue Force from Tsunami.
I never played Blue Force. What is that? What
I
kind of
didn't
game is
either.
that? Is that like an adventure
Police
game?
Quest. It's like the Police Quest. It's like a spiritual successor to Police Quest. It was made, I think, by Jim Walls, I think,
Oh,
but it was
same
after he
guy.
left Sierra. Yeah.
Announcements are a Twitch time-honored tradition. Yep. Is Blue Force a Sierra game?
No, it was a Tsunami. It was the same guy who made the Police Quest games, but
Jim
he
Walls.
did his own thing.
And
yeah.
he's a pretty controversial figure, isn't he?
That's the Daryl Gates controversial figure.
Oh, Daryl Gates. Okay, Daryl Gates. Yep. No, we did say Police Quest, but yeah, not Sierra,
Yeah.
but very similar.
It's
like
very
spiritual
similar.
successor.
It's very extremely similar. But I've never played it myself, but I've watched Let's Plays where Level Zero NPCs on YouTube does an incredible Let's Play of it because they make it a lot funnier than I actually think the game is.
Nice. Yeah, so I got to figure out too how to use channel points and stuff and make it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, Sam Tacky really has been on me. Like, back in the day we used to go on tour, and we'd have a lot of bus rides or van rides. Like they would take us to the venue or from the venue or to the airport or from the airport, or we land somewhere and then we'd have another 2 hour drive. We got to New Zealand in January, and I remember we had a long drive, and then I remember him talking about this as he had already done many times. I can remember many countries where he's talked to me about this in Panama. He's talked to me about this in New Zealand, Australia, Canada. Sam Tacky probably knows more of the countries than even I can remember, but he's like, "Yo, dude, you got to do this, this, and this." I'm like, "All right, all right, all right, okay." And it only took me about a year to get on Twitch, but if you really want to dive down deep, the only reason we're here is because of Sam Tacky. So
See, and whenever I tell people about streaming, I always say it's because you were the one whose idea it was. So I guess I shouldn't. I should just stop
it's not
saying that because
mine.
it was Sam.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You owe him a soda.
Yeah. Forget
Fanta,
your
a
soda.
European Fanta. He doesn't drink the American stuff. It's swill at best. I don't drink
What
it
is
either.
it?
Fanta,
Fanta.
Fanta. I
Okay.
think you might get the European stuff
Yeah,
in Canada. You
I
might
think
get
we
the good
may.
stuff.
We had
I
that discussion.
I think Mexico gets the good stuff as well. We get the garbage here. I don't know why. Fresca. No, Fresca's. I would drink a Fresca, but Sam Tacky won't drink it. Well, I don't know why we get the. And if you look, Jim would know this. If you look at Fanta, like the regular flavor is yellow, right? The color is yellow. Here, it's orange. It's like the same color as the label, but it should be yellow. It shouldn't be orange. It's the same. Fanta here is the same thing as like Orange Crush used to be, if they still have that one. I don't even know if that soda is still around. But more
Crush?
food wars. But yeah, soda sucks here,
We have
comparatively
Crush in Canada,
speaking.
I think, still.
Corn subsidies. Yeah, there you go. They have Crush in Canada. Yeah, I think we have it here. And it's orange soda is typically, or grape soda is typically the highest in sugar of any soda.
I
But
thought so.
I don't think that's the case with the European Fanta.
Hmm.
Yeah, we don't have pineapple Fanta here. I don't know. I don't drink it. High fructose corn syrup soda. Yeah, but it's not high fructose corn syrup in the UK. It's sugar. I don't know. You got to buy the local soda.
Hmm. I don't drink soda either, actually, so.
Huh. Interesting.
I don't even like sugar in coffee or tea.
Yeah, I drink the sugar stuff, sugar-free stuff. Yeah, the food overall, I would say the food supply overall in Europe is far superior to what we can buy in a store for sure. I would say most places in the world, in fact. I remember the first time. Now, this is a good experience story. The first time I was ever in Jamaica, um, I remember being there with a buddy of mine, couple buddies of mine that were both Jamaican. We were staying at one of the guys' houses in Jamaica. And the first time he goes to buy fruit, he buys it from a dude who's like on the side of a road
Yep, yep,
in a shopping cart.
yep.
And I'm like, wait, this is the best place to get fruit, really? And you could call me ignorant, you could call me stupid, and I would accept all of those titles happily because I was. And that was the best orange I ever ate in my entire life. I was like, what in the hell are they giving me in the US? What is this crap? This is not what I signed up for. What? They didn't even look good, by the way, the oranges that he had there. They were phenomenal. They were, yes, Jim plays games. They were 100% fresh off the tree. The rehearsal studio that we rehearse at in Jamaica is called Big Yard Studios. It was started by Shaggy and his manager, Robert Livingston, and then eventually was taken over by just Robert Livingston, his manager. And there's mango trees on in the
Mm.
in the like the area. It's kind of like two buildings. There's one with like recording studios, and then we have like a rehearsal studio building in the back. But there's mangoes from the tree. It's unbelievable. Oh man. So yeah, more food wars. So anyway, what I was going to show you guys here, I have a method to my madness. Maybe I was going to say I just copied and pasted what I just played to another instrument patch, and now we can mess with the instrument sounds. this subtle enough?
It's still way too. It's more like I don't know. I can't find the words now. It's
Oh, can you ban that guy, Sam Tacky or Sammy Buckets? Walk Khaled, whatever bot he is. Sorry, go ahead, Julie.
it's I like it, and I can see it working in other part, but it is still a bit heavy, you know.
Heavy. I think it could be the sound. It could also be the range. Thank you, sir. Let's try two things. Let's listen to it again. Let's start. You like this sound though, too, right?
I really love the sound. I just for this piece, it's sort of the first time you kind of get this idea that there is something maybe kind of not great or unusual going on. So
It's
this piece
too
now
it's
is
too
people
dark and
really into
brooding.
it.
It's
Yes,
too
yeah.
dark and brooding.
It
Yes.
could definitely work later on in the story, but this is sort of so far the game has been, oh, you introduce yourself to people. Oh, these people are a little bit interesting, but okay, I'm going home or whatever the
Right,
next day,
right, right, right.
and then you get a piece of news that isn't directly ominous or threatening. It's just something that happened, and you kind of wonder why that happened. And it's not a great thing that happened, but it's not like it's directly endangering,
Right. You're not like
humanity.
scared for your life or something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Foreboding. Yeah. It's
Foreboding.
kind of foreboding, but not like directly. Yeah. Like Dan said, not directly affecting
So I think what it is
life,
probably the octave. Let's
possibly.
try raising it.
Okay.
See what happens.
Because I think that will help quite a bit. And even the length of these notes, how it all lingers, I like. It's very atmospheric, but it's like it's really spooky. It's better. Yeah.
Harpsichord, shorter sounds.
I like that sound too.
Maybe we can try a harp also.
Ooh. Hmm. It's pretty
That's
good.
pretty subtle, right?
Yeah.
I kind of feel like, in a weird way, the harp is one of the thematic instruments of this game,
Hmm.
for whatever
Interesting.
reason. And the ragtime piano, obviously.
Hmm.
That's not super brooding, is it?
No, it's definitely lighter. It's still kind of creepy, but definitely the lightest version of the creepy.
So
Yeah, that instrument I agree with.
let's try this now. So let's do a harp take 2, and we'll try to see if we can. I'll try to see if I can maybe change up the sound.
Yeah, Dave, exactly. Somber. Somber is a good word for it. It definitely helps in lightening it up. We definitely need it to be lighter for this section. Mhm, mhm.
More like that, or is that
Um,
still too?
it's actually getting to be. It's getting away from the surprising.
Yes, 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 yes. But here's the question.
Yes.
Can you do surprising for 45 seconds or a minute?
Can you? That's a very good question.
Can you be surprised for 45 seconds? I don't know. Maybe at like the end of a fireworks show as like things keep getting crazier and crazier, but I don't know. Tough for in a game like this, no?
It's like mild surprise, like, oh, like,
It's not
oh,
like
it's
God
okay.
of War. We're not like
No,
rampaging, slashing enemies at this point, I don't think.
no, you've kind of you've gone on your merry way. You're expecting things to go a certain way, and then they go another way. And you're like, oh, that sounds, like a not nice thing that happened, but
Hmm.
okay, type of thing.
So let's think of it a different way then. What if we think of this is it the piece is 45 seconds to a minute, but there are distinct sections within that?
Sure.
Maybe it can be like if you're thinking in song form, probably the way to go would be A, B, A, which I think they call what do they call ABA? Ternary form? I forget, or maybe that's ABC. I don't remember. Rondo form. I haven't. It's been too long since I was in music school. But what I was thinking was, you have one section, then you have an alternative section, and then you go back to the original section, and maybe it could even be a slight variation of, because you eventually have to get back in the loop to that original A section. So if it's a 45-second tune, each section is roughly 15 seconds. So let's see what that
Right.
equates to in bars.
Right, because the way I feel it may be, so the first section would be that surprise we're talking about. The second could be uncertainty, and then you can go back to mild surprise.
So you're talking about a 6-bar phrase, which is a little odd, but it might be cool because it's supposed to be surprising. Somebody was saying that about a song. I think it was on the stream we talked about this. One of the songs that had a weird phrase. Was it the Hey Ya by Outkast that Andre 3000 was trying to make ABA is ternary form? Yeah, I think that's right, Deluxe Tux. Andre 3000 was trying to make a song and make it feel a little bit weird because it had the phrase is like 6 beats or something. The phrasing in that song, or the bar lines in that song, is really bizarre. It's not 4/4 time like you'd think it is. It sounds like that, it feels like that, it's fast enough you can dance to it, but it has a really weird phrase length. And I would love to play it on the stream, but you know what happens when we play
Oh,
popular
yes.
music on stream, you get hated on. So anyway, we won't do that. So you can't even really do it that way. 6 bars. Let me think of it. Let me hear it again. Oh, I need my click track. So it's really here that I'm feeling it. That's 7 bars. That's even weirder. Ay. You're not going to be able to feel a ternary form in that amount of time. It's too short. I don't think you can do 2 musical statements in that amount of time. I think it's too quick. Unless we were in like a pop song in a verse chorus form, but it's not what this is. Let's see. something more. Whoops, something more like that where I almost feel like there's a moment of surprise in there somewhere. Um, does that work for you? Is that something where there's like if you listen to, let's listen back to this really quick, and I'll show you what I mean. So it's nothing too offensive yet. We're not really surprised. Still not too surprised. And then here's the moment. It's not even a surprise as much as that feels more like a question, but like an uncertainty. Isn't that one of the words that we use there? Unexpected?
Yes. Yeah. I think, well, the way the clip actually starts, it would be
Unexpected.
cool to have something like that near the top of it.
Oh, so it starts with that question.
Yeah, because in the clip, so you see someone go into a building, and then that person comes back out of a building with surprising news, and that's where
Okay, so
that's
you're
where
surprised, but it's 2.5-ish minutes.
So you start kind of with the.
Is there animations as well, or is it all just cutscene?
No, it's animated.
Okay. No, but I
Yeah.
meant like, are there like you're seeing like the gameplay screen, or you're just seeing the different art views?
It's a gameplay screen, so it's the same perspective as you would have if you were playing the game, but it's
Gotcha.
all kind of like animated.
People are
in
doing
that.
stuff on their own kind of thing.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, cool. Yeah, I like that cinnamon toast crunch emoji. Where'd you find that? It's a good
When I
cereal
just
right
happened to
there.
dig up.
Cooking with Crimson. So let's do that then. Let's start it with something like surprising and then go into something different.
Yes. Yeah.
If we can. Something more like that. Does that work or no?
What was before we even started down this path? You had started on something else that I thought was really good. What happened to that part?
Which part?
When the part even before the first thing you started to play at the very top of when we were discussing this. It
Oh.
was. Yeah, something kind of. If we went lighter with that and started with a bit of surprise.
So it's similar to what we had, but maybe less going on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll buy that for $1.
Yeah.
Was that what you were saying too, Blaholtzen?
Yeah, exactly, Blaholtzen. So when you get a surprise, and then your mind starts, going, like you say, Blaholtzen, about
Cool.
what's going on, etc. So, and yeah, it's getting kind of like, it's getting more somber, and I would like to get away from somber and mournful sounding.
Sort of adjusting to the new information. That's good.
Yes.
Yeah, that's very good.
Yeah.
Let's spam some logos just because I can.
I think I had to repurchase those things. So I don't think I have. Yeah. It's less somber, less brooding. It's just more. Yeah.
All right, let me play something here. Something like that.
Yes. Yeah.
Better?
Here we go.
That
Yes.
will loop. That should loop exactly also. You like that stuff that was happening behind there that I was just playing?
I was wondering about that because I was like, where's that coming from? Am I hearing things?
Or is it too
I
much?
I kind of like it. It was very. I feel like there has to be like a little bit more of it for me to not think it was like a weird mistake.
I think though you won't notice it. It'll be one thing
Okay.
like you feel it, but you don't necessarily notice it.
Okay.
You know, that's kind of the intent.
Okay.
Um,
I think that's good. It's not too heavy. It's not too brooding. It's not too somber. Hey Anna, good to see you. Welcome back.
what's up, Anna? I kind of want the strings, but not so aggressive.
Mhm.
Must be like pizzicato strings. Harp again.
That's pretty good. Yeah, we like the harp.
Oh, I can actually see the sounds. I never even noticed that. Oh, that's fantastic. Piccolo, pick recorder, panpipes, sax 2, sax 3, sax 4. Oh, this is fantastic. No, no, but that's a good word. I don't know how to pronounce that. Synesthesia?
Synesthesia.
Yeah. No, but I'm actually staring at my MT32, which is right to the, it's to the right. It's to the left of my monitor, so it's actually displaying the sounds as I play them. However, that might be it. Too brooding?
Yep. That's pretty nice too, but it might be too brooding.
This one?
Too much.
Oh,
That's
wait,
pretty good.
wrong game. She showed off, she did a waiting screen for her with the MT32 and she never sent it to me. Wow. Damn,
Oh, you
man.
want it? Okay. It was just like an extra layer of like the animated GIF was I just put on in OBS. I thought I sent it to you.
There it is.
There it is.
Oh, there it is. Sorry, there it is. Hello?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. You can see we're getting to the bottom of the barrel.
We were at the bottom of the barrel and then some. The Rye or the Kaiser.
Eye of the Diamond.
A 1989 basketball game. We talked about that actually. The NBA on NBC theme that John Tesh wrote. Can I explain what that weird bell noise was? It was some idea, some programmer's idea of a good time. It says water bells. This is jungle tune. This is This is called One Note Jam. I have no idea. They're MT32 sounds.
Pretty good.
What if it's just real subtle?
I like it. Yeah, it's super creepy.
It is, right? So maybe we should just leave it alone for now.
I like what you have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and what I could do, I could spruce it up with a percussion element or two. Not these. If I change it to channel 10, it should go to my drum sounds.
Yeah, the clap is good. I like the clapping.
Just kidding.
More hi-hat. More bongos. Perfect. Yep.
So these are some of the sounds that I used. Some of the sounds that I used, I think, in the theme song. Or in the...
Oh.
No, I may have used it in the... I probably used it in the theme song and in the waltz as well. So let's see. Let's see what we sound like.
That's not bad. Yeah, those two are nice.
And then maybe back to the beginning again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thanks, guys. So what I will do now, Sam Tacky and others, I will cheat and quantize the very first notes because I want them to be looping. So I need this to be perfectly even right at the start. So I'll do that here. That'll just move the first, well, it should have, it didn't. Thank you for the subscription. Whoa!
Amberzine.
Amberseen 0. Awesome. Unbelievable.
Yes.
Totally unbelievable.
Thank you.
Thank you
awesome.
guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys. That's awesome. That's very, very awesome. Thank you, Amberseen 0, for gifting 5 tier 1 subs to the community. So we're going to get a lot of these nice little announcements. To Davor, Furoy, the Deluxe Tux, Eshiktar, and Amiga Bill. Sweet. You guys rock. Yeah. Especially you, Amberseen. Thank you. No, that's cool. I like it. I'm good with it. What did I play again? I forget what I played on this. Because I made these announcement sounds. Yeah, I made these announcement sounds a while ago. I gotta make some more cool ones too. I don't know if does that Streamlabs allow you to switch between different sounds?
Yeah,
Sub
it
hype.
did.
Like, can it randomly select different ones? Like, could I make more of them?
You probably can.
Get them to go like in like a loop or like a round robin kind of selection.
I have not looked into it.
Interesting.
Oh, Jim Plays Game says, yeah, you can set variations and
Sweet.
randomly
So I
select.
could make a
Sweet.
whole bunch of these. I think I should.
We've just derailed. We've derailed the stream, and now Dan's going to spend the rest of the time
What a
doing alert
great
box
way
with
to
it.
derail the stream.
Yeah.
D. Ivor. Is that how it's pronounced? Probably.
I say Deivor too. It's bad. I never
D.
even asked. So.
Ivor. D. Ivor. D. Ivor.
Deivor?
D. Ivor. D. Ivor. Deivor. Sorry, bro. I'm
Sorry.
terrible at it. If you ever like, you can always send me like a voice note in the Discord or something. Like, dude, this is how you say it, smart guy. Is your IQ higher than Forrest Gump? Come on. Probably not. Stream elements of Jim Plays Games. I think that's what we're using, aren't we? I
We're
don't
using
know.
Streamlabs.
Streamlabs? I
Yeah.
don't know. We'll figure it out. Voice note is a thing in Discord. Yeah, because technically right now, Julie and I are on Discord video chatting.
Yes.
But then we throw the video chat. Well, I throw the video chat into the OBS.
Yeah, Vigu, Anna Vigu.
That's how you pronounce it. Oh, I never would have gotten
Yeah,
it.
it's funny because I was working on some
Deluxe
submission
Tux, you
for
got it.
something.
CGG.
Yes, exactly. It's perfectly easy. But there was a part in this application I was doing that we wanted this kind of the pronunciation, how to pronounce the last name, or just how to pronounce the person's name. So spell it out how you want to pronounce, type of thing. And I'm like, Minamata. Minamata. It sounds exactly how. There's nothing unusual going there. It's perfectly phonetic
You could
already.
say like Minamata or something. What do people say? What are your like good screw ups that you get?
Yeah, like Minimata.
Mini.
Even how it's spelled. I see.
I
I
can
know.
see how that might not make you too happy.
No.
I might have to
Yeah.
call you that from now on. I might have to
Minimata.
mispronounce
It's
your name directly to your face on stream. Oh no.
mini. It's they don't even have the right letters though. I don't know why. It's a mini moto.
Minimoto, I guess. But that's
Minamata. I get Minamata.
Minamata. That I could see. Like from you're kind of near the Midwest. Well, not really, but Minamata I could see. That one I could
But
see.
you're not even pronouncing the vowel sounds the same. I mean, why don't you at least be consistent when you're pronouncing something? Because Minamata, it's all exactly the same vowel sound.
What
Oh,
about
mouse.
apart and apart? Can we talk
Um,
about that for a second?
no, I don't want to. You're never gonna learn it, so why bother?
I'm not
Just
going to
forget
learn
it.
it. No.
Maximus wants to know what my kanji for my last name is, and I can show it actually.
Oh, show that off. That would be good.
Okay, so I'm gonna.
Where's Julia Big? There we go. You do that,
Okay, I'm
and I'm
gonna
gonna
cover
fix
it.
this part. Exactly,
Okay.
Jim Plays Games. Now, there's a funny story to that, but Julia doesn't want to tell it because she doesn't find it humorous.
I find it very tiring.
I would say she finds me tiring. That's the best way to say it.
Let me see if I can kind of show this.
Is
Hold
this
on, I
your
gotta get
Japanese
on the
passport or
Discord. Here.
something? What is this?
There. It's really small.
Oh, we can see it.
That is my last name. The kanji for my last name.
That's pretty cool.
It's a stamp. The Japanese people have stamps for their signatures.
That's cool.
So that's the stamp.
So that says Minimoto?
No, it says Minamata.
I'm kidding.
And my first name is my first name in Japanese is so the address that you see here is my PO box, so it's not really a big deal. But yeah, this is the Hanko for Aiko, which is my name in Japanese. My middle name Japanese, and the small one is Minamata. So
I can't read it anyway, and I have a giant screen, so that's pretty cool.
it's very stylized. But yeah,
CSS.
that's that. Minamata is actually not a common Japanese name.
What's
kind
the
of a weird
origin? Is
name.
it not Japanese? Is it like
Oh, it is Japanese, but it's just not a common Japanese name. Like there's some really common Japanese names like Tanaka and Watanabe and
sure?
stuff like that. It just happens to be very uncommon. And there is a town or a city in Japan called Minamata, but it's completely spelled differently in Japanese, so it's not the same.
So that's not where your family name comes from, you don't
No,
think. But
no.
isn't it, so I guess it depends on, how many generations has it been, but even then in Japan naming is a little bit different of a convention, right? Like the first name is different than the way we think of first names here in the US and Canada, right?
I don't know
To a
about that. It's just
degree.
like the family name. It wouldn't have changed over time to be not the town. It's just completely unrelated.
But does the family name go first?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's kind of in a way, sure, yeah.
Well, I just
So if
think
you're talking to colleagues, you would use their last name unless you're really good friends, and then you would maybe use their first name.
interesting. See, here it's the opposite. You would do it, you would only use somebody's last name if you were kind of familiar with them, like call them like, whatever by their last name. Like I'd say, "Yo, Minamoto, what's up?" Or Minimoto, what's up? You know, uh, as opposed to in Japan, it would be the opposite, right? It'd be more respectful
Yeah,
to
in
use
fact,
the family name.
there's like romance comics in Japan where the whole thing is when the guy starts calling the girl by her first name or vice versa. That's like a huge step in the relationship. It's a huge language thing.
Is that when they say chan or whatever?
Yeah, that's like yeah. There are different ways to address
It's like
people. So yes,
affection.
yeah, like Daniel San would be just standard. Daniel Chan would be cute for a girl. Daniel Kun would be cute for a boy. You call Daniel Kun like a little boy. Uh,
So is that where Bill's name comes from?
yeah, Bill Kun. I'm assuming Bill Kun is yeah
I
for
was
the
gonna say he's
boy.
the one who's mentioned a lot of Japanese stuff here, so that
Yeah,
would
Bill
probably
Sama, Mausama Sama. Sama is more honorific, so it's more respectful.
Sama. So Sama would be like um a
Be
judge
a
or
boss,
something.
a superior, yeah, or like I would assume maybe that would be sensei, maybe a teacher. Just it wouldn't
Okay,
be like a
a
karate
teacher.
sensei, just any type of teacher would be a sensei. Sometimes even other respectful professions are called sensei.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's a whole
Thank you
thing.
for the follow, by the way, Grub Chub. That's an awesome name, and it's easy for me to pronounce, so it's even better. Sam
Yeah,
Taki-san. Yep. Rick Sama. Yep.
yeah,
Rick
yeah,
Flair. Pickle Rick Flair
yeah.
Sama.
Jule Hime is like princess, Ojo. There's a bunch of different
And you
like
add these,
suffixes.
I guess you'd call them like, what do you call them? The little tag thing that you add to the end of the name?
Yeah, yeah, suffix. It would be like a suffix or something that you would attach. Oh, good. Yeah, correct. Bill Kuhn,
There
correct.
we go.
His first job after college, American at a Japanese company, overheard himself being referred to as Bill Kuhn. Oh, that's so cute. That's so cute. They called you Bill Kuhn.
So what does that mean? That means like it's like
I think it's a boy, kind of. You call Kuhn. Like I was Aiko-chan for a long time as a child for my elder relatives.
okay.
Yeah, it's a cute girl title. Kuhn is like a cute boy title.
So
Um,
your parents or your grandparents spoke Japanese?
Yeah, my parents do speak Japanese, but we spoke English in the house because my mom was learning English and
Gotcha.
they wanted to learn English.
Oh, so
So
your mom's first language is Japanese.
yeah, my both my parents' first language Japanese. My dad was born in Canada though, so he kind of I guess he had a bit of a head start with that. He was kind of moved back and forth depending on what the war was like type of thing. Um, Deluxe Tuck says dropping the honorific is either super loving or super disrespectful depending on the context. Yeah, it's all about context.
What did he say? Dropping the honorific is either super
Yeah, so
loving or
for
super
instance, if you call,
disrespectful.
Bill
Okay.
Sama, Bill Son, you wouldn't call someone, if you wouldn't call Bill Kun to his face if you didn't really know him, probably, because he's an adult. That would be
Well, I wouldn't
disrespectful.
recognize him, so that would be easy for me to not
And
call
that's,
him that, unless I call everybody that for the rest of my life.
no, I'm not, no, Sam Taki, I'm not fluent in Japanese. I'm trying to learn it myself, actually. I've been using Duolingo and I actually have some books and stuff. I took the JLPT and I barely passed the level 5, which is the easiest one. So it's something I'm kind of taking on.
Nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
I every once in a while I'll be on a Discord call with Julie and I'll hear her. She's like doing her Duolingo things, so I hear her repeating Japanese words. The good thing is I can't really get distracted by it because I have no idea what she's saying. So it's easy for me to just kind of do whatever I need to do or test
Yeah.
whatever I need to test. and move on.
Oh.
But yeah,
See, I didn't know this. Deluxe Text is saying coon can be used for women too, especially usually like women coworkers who are you're mentoring and are close familiar with.
so
I
is
did
that
not know
like
that.
students or something?
Um, coworkers you're mentoring. I guess. Oh, sweet! Congratulations, Maximus, for passing N2 years ago. That's awesome. N2 is a very, very high one, high level.
Because it's not like, first of all, you're not using, the same lettering system, so that throws it out. There's a million characters. The kanji is tough, and it
Yeah,
changes things, and the speaking is different from the writing, and it's not an easy language to pick up for somebody whose native language is English, I would think.
the grammar is completely different.
Right.
In certain ways, it's easier, but in most ways, it's more difficult.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I had a fairly easy time picking up patois from like the Jamaicans, being
Hmm.
around
Hmm.
them all the time, but a lot of the language there is based on English.
Hmm.
It's interesting how language shapes the way we conceptualize things. These suffixes seem like they would tend to cause categorization of relationships depending on which type you use. Yeah, I think it does, right?
Absolutely. Yep. 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 100%.
And is that there's a lot of emphasis on respect in the Japanese culture, and I think one of the easiest ways to see that is just go there and look at the streets and everything's clean. Just people are respectful of their own environment and they
Hmm.
all take
Hmm.
it seriously. So the honorifics Wikipedia
Yeah.
article. Sweet.
Yeah.
So there's probably a lot of them, right? You'd never, there's almost an endless number of them.
Yeah. I wouldn't say endless, but in fact, there are different kinds of ways to refer to yourself too. I mean, if you don't, there's not just one word for I.
Gotcha. Yeah,
Um,
Jim, you're on the right track, dude. Bowing would be much
yes.
safer than
Yes.
shaking hands, and we could adopt that. I don't even mind the wave, the peace sign. The elbow bump is what I've adopted. I'm good with that. The Vulcan, the Vulcan would be nice.
Mhm.
I'm good with all.
Nice. That's a
Shut
great
up,
emoji
Wesley.
hooligan.
Oh man, I love it.
Yeah, I'm
So
fine with not shaking hands. I'm totally cool with it.
yeah,
Totally do.
I
You
generally
know.
don't like touching people or people touching me. Um,
Mm.
except for my cats and my daughter, and that's about it. Yeah, we could just say "shut up, Wesley" to everybody. We don't even we don't even need to like wave. Ah, shut up, Wesley.
Mhm.
That's like good
Shut up,
morning.
Wesley. And
I
then the
mean, they
person would respond like
they
that.
have
Yeah.
greetings like that in New York. Well, they used to, because now nobody lives here anymore. But they used to. Chan is cutesy. Tan is ultra cutesy. Shama is saccharine and disgusting.
I've never heard Chama actually. Holy cow. I'm learning all kinds of stuff today.
Yeah, it's a weird tradition. Hello, person I've never met. Hold my hand, but move it up and down for a bit so it's not weird. It is weird, right? I I don't know. I don't like. I don't know. Maybe this this whole pandemic is gonna look. There's gonna be positives from it. Maybe some of the positives for us is to know ourselves better, what we like, what we don't like. I gotta say, being down in my basement is okay with me, and not flying on planes where people are disgusting and they haven't. Oh man, Sam Tacky will talk about it. You're on a plane and somebody hasn't showered or doesn't use deodorant, and the whole plane just, whew, it's rough, especially if you have a 12-hour flight.
Hmm.
And I won't say anything more than that, but it's not enjoyable always. Damn it, Jim. Yeah, that kind of thing too. Shut up, Wesley. You got to hear it. You got to hear it on the stream. Go in there, get a few channel points on his channel, and then just
Uh,
start spamming "Shut up, Wesley's." He'll enjoy it. The chat will enjoy it, and then regardless, he'll start to talk about Star Trek anyway. At a quick point after. Only 200 channel points. What a bargain, right?
it's a bargain.
And if you
Yeah.
and if you subscribe now, we'll throw in a bonus of 30 channel points. No, I have no idea, but maybe. So yeah, see, that is a bargain. It's worth it. We need some cool. We're gonna get there. We're gonna work on
Oh,
it.
I know. It's a whole thing.
We're definitely gonna work on it. So here's what I did while we were kind of yapping. You can also make my head explode. Ooh, that sounds good. Violent, but good. What I did was I put a loop together, and I have the loop playback. Whoops. I have the loop playback highlighted here, so when I hit play, this will loop. This should loop perfectly. Now, in Pro Tools, there's no good way to skip and have it loop. If I skip, it'll jump out of the loop, which is a little stupid. But we'll just let it play, and then I'll show you a trick to Pro Tools to make it, to be able to hear the loop point. Ah, thanks, Rick. 3636.
Awesome.
Thank you for the bits. Ah, the kitties are still up? Wow. Later, Sam Taki.
Good night, Sam. Good to see you.
Thank you for being here.
Whew, Jim plays games. It's only 3:30 a.m., but you're pretty tired. Might get an early night. You're just like me. I'm just as bad as that. Amiga Bill.
Dude,
You're great.
thank you guys. Thank you, Jim Plays Games. Thank you, Amiga Bill. Whoops, and then it stopped, of course. So what you can do is you can just duplicate the region, which I've already done, and then just play the end of it. You don't have to spend all that time every time you want to hear a loop point. Jim, I'll see you on some Subnautica soon. I think that loop point is pretty seamless. Did you hear it loop?
No?
Yep.
I don't hear anything properly, though. My ears suck, and I suck.
Well,
No,
if
that
you
was
don't
good.
hear anything, that's the point. You're really not supposed to hear anything.
It's good.
Yeah. So it loops perfect. Perfect. So I think we have. This is a little longer than we ended up thinking.
Probably fine.
But I think it was. Who was it that said? Blaholtzen, was it you that said around a minute? I think you said around a minute, or was it? It was. I think it was Blaholtzen that said that. Yes, Ambersine, thank you for gifting those
Yes.
subs. That was amazing. Awesome. Let's see here. Yeah, so and we're right around a minute. We're at, let me change the counter here so we can see it. 1 minute, 8 seconds is the loop, and then it'll loop again. So if it's 2.5 minutes, you're roughly gonna hear this 2.1 times or something.
Great. That's perfect. Yeah.
I think that's
Awesome.
good. I think that's really cool. So
We
let's
just have to
do this.
eventually have you send all this music that you've been generating, which I'm
Yes.
going to lose track of because I don't have a list. But yeah,
Yeah, just keep emailing me every time you think of it. At least we have a running tab. But this is where an audio asset sheet would be a useful thing. And I think I said that I was going to put one together at one point.
I don't remember you saying that, but you might have.
I'm pretty sure I did. Maybe just in a chat or something.
Okay.
Somebody told me in one of the Facebook groups on audio, might have been the Game Audio Denizens group.
Mhm.
Somebody mentioned an audio asset sheet, and I said, well, what's an audio asset sheet? The guy said,
Mhm.
Google audio asset sheet, and you should see, a few different examples. And basically, it's just essentially like a spreadsheet for a way of keeping track of all the sounds or the music that's in your game. Now, if you have a giant AAA game with a lot of dialogue, with a lot of sound effects, it becomes an issue if you don't have a list of those
Right,
sounds,
of course.
because you're trying to get, so that's what the deal is. You're trying to get, you're trying to catalog it and organize it in the best way possible. I think that's what most of the larger game studios are doing. They're real sticklers about that kind of thing. Graphic asset sheets. I'm sure it's the same principle, right?
I kind of do that for myself per section, so I just have a checkoff list of what I need to do. But it's just for my own purposes because there's no one else really working on that. But I do
But
that.
even still, you would be able to use it. Like even a storyboard in a way. Some people, we saw Dave Gilbert. If anybody follows his, I think his Facebook or his Twitter, he was showing some early sketches of storyboards,
Mhm.
and if you look at them, you're not going to be impressed by what you see, but eventually you'll be impressed when you see the end result in the game that he's
Yeah.
made them into. And I think that was his thing. He pointed out today. He's like, my process has not gotten better at all in the last 5 years or something like that. Maybe he wasn't using storyboards before, but yeah, that's the idea. Asset sheets is just to catalog what it is that you have,
Mhm.
and it's also important. The larger the game gets, the more stuff that goes in. How are you supposed to remember all this stuff
Yep.
without, you know, having some kind of catalog or I think ideally a spreadsheet.
So for now, just as I'm making a list right now in the spirit of all this, so what we have that you've made that I don't have yet to implement in the game is the chapter one ending music,
Okay.
chapter two opening music, the
Okay.
chapter two twist loop we've just done,
Yep.
the ragtime traveling music for the intro,
Yeah, that's not
and
finished. Yeah.
okay, and the what is it? How do I pronounce this guy's name?
Oh,
Debussy.
Debussy.
The Debussy, that piece is also kind of in the works, but that's all the kind of stuff we've got
Has
going
anybody
on
heard
right
the Debussy? I don't think anybody's heard it. Did we play
now. I
it
don't
one
know.
time?
That's our code name for it because we don't want to talk about it too much, but we do have that.
We don't even know if we're going to use it.
We know
So,
we're totally using it. I told you there's like six
oh, we
places
are.
to use it.
Oh,
Yeah, in
gotcha.
the email that I sent you that had all like the video clip for this piece and the descriptions, I mentioned that piece. What? How do you pronounce the guy's name?
Debussy.
Debussy. I'm going to ask
Claude
you about every
Debussy. Claude. I'm probably pronouncing the first name wrong, but he's French.
Claude
French composer. French
Claude
impressionist
Debussy.
composer. Probably the most famous French impressionist composer.
But I mentioned it too that we're gonna it's that's gonna be used at least four or five times that particular piece. So don't worry about not using it because we're totally using it.
Didn't you find a Debussy manuscript in London or something like that?
Yes, at the British Library,
That
which
was
is where
pretty
Adventure
cool.
X was held, they had this exhibition of rare documents and it was on display.
And what was
And
it? Was it a journal or something?
it was just something he scored or something. It's a
Oh, it was
piece of music,
actual music. Okay,
a sheet
cool.
of music. Yeah.
No, that's Jira. That's a Jira ticket. Then doesn't she want to issue me Jira tickets? That's a piece of software I'd never used before, and I just now I'm all in Jira. I'm all in Slack,
I've used Trello a bit. So Maximus is saying if you
Trello.
start a private GitHub repo for Crimson Diamond, you can just create pending issues and assign them to Dan. Yeah.
Trello's
This
kind of like it, but Jira is what all the software QA guys I
you said
think
with a J
use.
or with a G? Jira.
JIRA.
Okay.
The software company is called Atlassian or something.
Okay. Yeah, there's just so much to
Atlassian.
learn. I don't know anything about workflow management or any type of thing, so it's good to write this stuff down.
Jira is too
Jira is
much
too
for
much
you.
for me.
Well,
Good
yeah,
to know.
you don't need Jira for one person show, I don't
Yeah.
think. But for most indie games with a team, I'm sure anything larger, you use it. Yeah, it doesn't make sense for two people. Well, it's really one person because I'm not even implementing anything. I'm not even typing play.music or whatever into the AGS, which is cool. I mean, I don't need to. But yeah, you use Jira for software that's not games, right, Davor? Yeah, no, she doesn't need a software to do that.
I could just message Dan. Dan, get off your ass and do something.
she, she does.
I occasionally. Maybe I need to do it more. I don't know. Because we seem to be getting a backlog of stuff I need to implement.
Well, I think that's a good thing. Are we
Is that a
going
good thing?
content?
Like
Are we
a
are we
great new?
going content complete soon?
No.
Okay. Well, I make serious/training games at work actually, so technically no. Yeah, but oh, that's cool. So you're doing training stuff as overkill, audio asset management. No, that's great, Bill Kuhn, because this is a PDF. I wonder, did he do a talk for the talk? Yeah, he must have done a talk. So it must be on there somewhere. There's a lot of good talks on GDC. I used to send Julia a GDC talk like every day for a period of time. I haven't been watching too many lately, but I should.
They are good. They're probably the best talks I've seen.
Issue burn rate. Yeah, That's the other thing in Jira. You can see a lot of stuff going on. And I think as a game director, you're gonna be looking at the Jira, or a producer, you're gonna be looking at Jira a lot, for better or for worse.
Dan, you still haven't fixed the stream elements, eh?
What Stream Elements thing? Is it
The stream
wrong?
elements link that is at the end, the Crimson Diamond Facebook link
Does
has
it not
a
work?
stray bit. No, it worked. All the links worked except for the last one because the cut and paste got sloppy.
Ay, ay,
So
ay.
the only one that doesn't work is the Facebook link, which is fine. Like I don't really
I
use the
gotta fix
Facebook
this
link
up.
that much. It's minor. It just popped up, so I just that's why I mentioned that. I don't really. It's a huge deal.
Does Jira show all of that, Mousimus? Does it show like um, how often somebody's working or whatever? Nobody uses Facebook.
Yeah, I barely use it. I only really put Crimson Diamond
Only the
stuff
second
linked
largest search engine on the planet.
to Facebook.
Yes, I think that's why he was making that joke.
Oh, I don't really use it either.
Yeah, I think Jira is quite well used across the industry, and I don't think it has to be games. I think any software, and we use Slack. I have to learn Jira. I have to learn how to do proper crazy spreadsheets, and you know, a good spreadsheet impresses a systems designer or a game director or something like that. All the charts and dashboard for the senior management. Yep. I haven't used Facebook in over a decade. Really, Deluxe Talks. That's cool.
I confess I don't really use it. I use Twitter way more. It's just way easier.
I will have to say this. All I know about Jira is made here in Kangaroo. Oh, you're in Australia, Phoenicia?
I thought with that kind of name it was Japanese. So there's
Phoenicia?
so many
I would have
Japanese
thought it would
names.
have been Middle Eastern.
I think it's like I was thinking it's like Kanban or whatever it's called.
Hmm.
What is the Japanese thing that they have? Kanban?
Kanban
Something?
flow?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
figured it was something like that.
Interesting. I think Kanban is more like Trello, but I don't think Trello. I think Jira is more for like
Hmm.
what Mousemus is saying. It does everything.
Hmm.
And a game director is just sitting staring. It's like Jira's like a new Jira ticket issued with an issue is like staring down the barrel of a gun that keeps getting reloaded. Especially
When I
if you're
hear
getting
Gojira, I
close
keep
to
thinking
release.
Gojira,
You keep
Gojira.
thinking what?
Gojira, which is like how Godzilla is pronounced in
Oh,
Japanese.
Gojira. Yeah.
Yeah, Gojira.
Yeah. Gojira is how it's pretty close. I think actually that's the name, isn't it? I think that's how they
No,
got the name. I'm pretty sure that's where the name came from. I'm almost certain.
I'm sorry, Davor.
Jira's a generic workflow engine. You can use it for anything. Yes.
Okay, Trello
Yes.
Kanban is simple ticket issue systems. Okay, yes.
So these are the experts. I'm new. Gojira has their name due to copyright issues. There you go. Well, that's how we get our streams taken off the air, which sucks. Or get
Well,
muted
it's
or whatever.
copyright claim, which isn't even a big deal because we're not monetized, so I really don't care. But whatever, it's fine.
Yeah, I feel like we should do a quick show and tell.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Is it me or is
what
it
do you got?
you?
I showed already 2 Homestar Runner sculptures I did, so totally do
Ooh,
a thing.
okay.
Yeah.
So let me turn around and find and I have one cool item for sure, but let me see if I can find another one.
Originally formed as Godzilla in 1996. Are you serious, Bill Holton? That's what Jira originally their name. They tried to name themselves Godzilla in 1996. Because there's like a lot of, like I said, Japanese management stuff like Kanban. There's some kind of word for continuous improvement that I forget. It's some kind of general philosophy that they use. I forget what that word is. There's also that management style that they use at like Toyota and stuff. What is that called? Kaizen. Thank you, Bill Kuhn. Yes. Right. Thank
Okay, here we go. I have 2 cool items to show off that I
you. Okay,
got.
do Big Dan. Do you have a Big Dan?
Do I have a what?
Big Dan.
A Big Dan? Oh, yeah, I do. Yeah, well, I have close to Big Dan. There we go. That's Big Julia. This is better. Now,
Too big.
this past weekend, I went to my local flea market, and a buddy of mine had this box there, which says, like you think it's, hey, this is a bread bin
Mhm.
Commodore 64. Great, awesome. It's in the box. Very cool. So I open up the box and I look, and it is a Commodore 64. However, it is not the bread bin version. It is the version that's, I think, the later one with all white keys. The nice thing is, I believe it's a bit lighter than the previous version.
Mhm.
So while it doesn't match the box, and I'm sure the serial numbers don't match, it was a Commodore 64, and I got it for a great deal. And I actually traded it for a Neo Geo controller, Neo Geo AES controller.
I have a question. Why is it called a bread bin version? The other one,
I just think they think it looks like a bread bin.
the black key. I have a black key version. Was that the bread bin one?
That's the bread. That's what you would refer to as the bread bin typically,
Okay,
I
yeah, this one
think.
we have. Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Well, I have one of those. I'll go get it and I'll show you so you could see the difference.
Of course you do. Bill, can update on the 286 Resurrection serial mouse arrived this week. Exactly the same brand and model as you first had. The Genuous GM-6X, original box, driver disc, and Dr. Halo 3 drawing program. Even the twist tie on the mouse looks like it had never been untied. Trying to
Who?
find mouse drivers online. Holy cow. So you don't have to break the seal in the disk drive envelope. Oh my
Dr.
goodness.
Halo. I remember Dr. Halo.
Oh,
Wow. So this is the bread bin, and
yes.
actually it's not that much. I think it might be slightly heavier. But this is the one I knew about. This is the one I
Yes.
used as I grew up.
Yes, me too.
And then the other C64 was just a later version. So it's
Hmm.
cool. I just figured why not? I'll grab it. He'd bought a bunch of Neo Geo stuff, my buddy, from me, and so he wanted to partially trade some stuff. Yep, Furroy's got it. So I was like,
Nice.
why not? I have a pretty decent Commodore collection of games and whatnot. So that was cool. Now, here is the other item. This is actually, I don't know, you can see the shirt that I'm wearing. This is, whoops, wrong arm. This is a Romero Games Deathmatch 2018. I think they have like a deathmatch tournament. But they have their store. I buy stuff from their store all the time. They send me stuff all the time. It's cool. But they recently put up an ad for the original photo, like a print of the original
Oh, that's
photo.
right. Yes.
So this was a cool one, and they were all signed. You could buy them really cheap. I think you can get them for €10 on the site. But mine is special because John personalized it to me. So that makes me happy.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And I should show off what they sent me with it. I gotta. All right, hold on. I'll get it.
Okay.
This item is just, it's awesome.
Yeah, you need to frame that. Right by your Grampy nomination. You got to frame that. Yeah, I guess for the Crimson Diamond, we should probably, me and Dan should do like a company photo or something. But it's never going to be as cool as that one. I do have a tank top though. So this is where it all began. It's all it's going to be exactly the same in however many years' time, I'm pretty sure. But I do have an idea for a sequel for the next Crimson Diamond Nancy Maple game. Um, yeah, I got to get the retro fashion out. I don't think I have anything that would be that cool. Yes, a tank top. That's basically all I need. Yes, Dan needs to get a mullet for this to work.
I I do have a good wig that I could put on. And actually, here's the other funny thing: they are selling that T-shirt on the Romero shop as well. They're selling
Nice.
the Cool Guys at the Beach T-shirt. John told me some lady was selling them, so they contacted her and asked if they could sell them, and then she just gave them the stuff to make them themselves. So it was pretty cool.
Nice.
But the reason I got this, Brenda said to me, "Send me this, and I'll have John sign it for you." This is the Doom comic book, signed, of course, by John Romero. If anybody knows the Doom comic book, if you look this up, it's pretty uncommon of a comic. There's a poster of this that came out with Doom Eternal, I think, that was like a promo poster that they sent as a bonus, but this is not from that. This is from May of 1996, which came with the id anthology, which is right there next to Daikatana, the gray, that thing. See that thing right there next to the Daikatana? That's the id anthology. And this is the comic book that came in it. And I believe there was also a promo of this given out at some convention, but this is the one from the game box with the GT. I don't know if the other one has the GT logo or not on it, because I'm pretty sure that company's defunct. It was owned by Bethesda, and as you know, if you follow the game industry at all, it is now owned by Microsoft, which is probably a good thing for the guys in this picture. This is, let's see if I can name most of them. That's Romero, obviously. The blue guy is Carmack. Tom Hall is, I think this is Tom Hall here. I want to say this is Adrian. I don't know, and I'm not sure. Is this? I don't know. Somebody will know this. I'm not sure, but I have their picture hanging, or their poster hanging up in my house. Regardless,
Dan, I was saying we need a picture of this of us for the Crimson Diamond.
Cool guys at the beach.
Yeah,
we should both wear that shirt.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'll wear a wig.
Yes, and then we can get bought by Microsoft.
Hey, that'll work. That'll work.
Yeah.
There's a post I found on Prodigy message board circa 1991 on how to hex edit your Quest for Glory 2 save game file to boost any and all skill levels to any number you want. That's awesome.
That is awesome.
That's hilarious too. So Blaholton, I actually don't know. I never read the comic. I just like collecting this stuff. I just like collecting this stuff, and I've been doing that. That's if you can see here, this is all games that Brenda has worked on. This shelf here, the one next to it is John. Other than this, Top Gun, which I just got in here this week. These are all John games. There's some more down here, and then I think there's more. John worked on a lot of games, so it's hard to put them all in these small shelves. And I really shouldn't even be stacking these boxes. This is a bad thing to show. These are not supposed to be stacked. It can damage the boxes. Although everything I have stacked there is only one, and it's pretty light. But yeah, don't do this if you're collecting. It's the wrong way to do it. I should not be showing it off on stream, but I only show it off for 4 hours every couple of weeks. Whatever. Who's counting? So anyway, that was my show and tell. Some cool stuff from Romero Games, a.k.a. id Software. Yeah, so you just noticed the Jagged Alliance 2 box. I love that game. Well, Brenda was a writer on that game, and she worked on the whole Jagged Alliance series. And I would say that there is influence from the Jagged Alliance series also in Empire of Sin, which is the upcoming game that I've also been helping with. There's just so many combined elements in that game, and they work. They work together, which is it's crazy. I think everybody who plays it is going to really enjoy it. Watch the streams. That's what I would say. What did you just send us there? Oh, there you go. Rip and tear your guts. You are huge. That means you have huge guts. Rip and tear. That's funny. I don't know. Is that a great comic book? It's very thin. There's not much going on there. I'm not really a comic book guy, to be honest, but that particular comic is not easy to find. So if you do find it, pick it up. Send it to me.
Yeah. Are you one of those people who has a tab of eBay open at all times?
No, not all times. No, and I miss a lot of stuff because I don't do that.
Mm,
But
I
I do
see.
check eBay a couple of times a day, and I have saved searches for.
I see.
I don't have a lot. Some guys have over 100. I have about 20-ish.
So what's an example of a saved search that you do have?
Um, a good one that I have for relative to what we're doing here. Let's look. Let's just look at my eBay real quick. So this is one I'm watching. Watched item ends in 14 minutes. Roland MT32 multi-timbral sound module for parts not working. So
Hmm.
I had a Roland MT32 alert that I just don't think I ever got rid of, even after I got this MT32. Because if I see, oh, it sold for $47. That's actually a great deal. You can barely get the power supply for that price now. I have an id Software search, naturally. I've been looking for this game called Terminal Velocity,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
which I have, but it's not a great copy. Where is it? Yeah. It's a 3D Realms game. Um, I think this was Tom Hall worked on this game. It was kind of like Descent in a way, but it was more of a free roaming Descent, kind of outdoors. Kind of looked a little bit like Magic Carpet in a way. Yeah, 3D flying shooter outdoors. But this is the shareware version, shareware box. But inside is the registered version disc. So I don't know what. There's some Frankenstein thing that I got. One of the guys in the big box group sent it to me from Spokane, Washington. He picked it up. But yeah, that's yeah. I don't know. It's just some cool stuff. That's one I've been trying to find in good shape in the registered
Hmm.
version. Let's see what else. You guys might appreciate some of these. The SW1000XG. I'll show this off here. This is a sound card, which uses Yamaha XG sounds. This one listed here is for $1,400, which is ridiculous. There's some for under $200, but I don't really want to spend anywhere close to that. So I'm just kind of waiting, hoping one will pop up for 30 or $40, and yeah, you never know. Let's see. I have a sound card save search. I have an AWE 64 gold save. I have a Scunny Cart save search. Anybody know that game? That's a tough one to find. I have a bit of a Hail Mary of a search.
Hmm.
There is a game, an educational music game that I played for Apple IIgs on my piano teacher's computer. She used to have us come into the lessons when I was young. I would come in, and she would be finishing with another student, and then she would send me onto the computer. And she would say, okay, you play 15 minutes of this rhythmicity game, and then you'll come have your lesson. So I did
Hmm.
that, and this game was awesome. This game was really cool at like kind of teaching you rhythms. That's what it was there for, to teach you to read rhythms, musical rhythms. But it was made by a local guy, and I had no idea. So there wasn't really like retail, it wasn't sold in retail stores. So if you're a collector of PC games, there's an extremely, extremely, extremely rare game called, oh, spell the title. Let's see. I think that's it. Rhythmicity. I'm
Wow.
pretty sure that's it. Um, there's a really extremely rare title with an extremely well-known IP attached to it, Carmen Sandiego. And I think the game is called Where in North Dakota is Carmen Sandiego. And nobody has a copy of that game. It was educational release only. It was in schools in North Dakota specifically only. Or I think it was North Dakota. It's something like that. If you can look that up and find it. But it's impossible to find because, yeah, Anna knows about it. It's stupidly rare. Now, rhythmicity is kind of in that category, except nobody cares. I care because I played it, but nobody else cares because they weren't in, Bellevue, Washington
Mhm.
in the 90s, playing on their Apple II GS. That some guy wrote the software in his house. Now, there is a record of it on Google. And if anybody's in Hawaii, it is at the University of Hawaii Software Library. So I can't even get a copy of it. There's no dump of it. There's no ROM or disc. I know what the game is in my head. It's almost like it's almost like Guitar Hero in a way. Yes. Here's the listing at the library in Hawaii. So yes, if anybody physically goes to Hawaii, I might have a shot at getting it. Or if I knew anybody that was at that university in Hawaii, they would have to be like a bit of a software nerd to be able to even look it up. But I don't think I'll ever find it. I hope I will, but I don't know. It's on there. It's been on my eBay searches for 3 or 4 years. I've never seen it come up for sale. I've never seen it sold. So
Hmm.
I don't know.
Oh, I just logged into my eBay account because I wanted to see when the last time I purchased anything or anything, and I actually had to get my password reset because I haven't logged on to eBay in like ever. And I was just trying to look at my purchase history, but it only goes back to 2018, the purchase history for some reason.
Mine,
And I don't think I've
it goes
ordered
older
anything.
than that. You have to do type a few different things to get it to go older than that.
Okay,
But recently they celebrated like the 20th anniversary or 25th anniversary.
let's see.
I think it's the 25th anniversary
Oh,
because it
okay.
started in 1995, and they sent longtime users a
Right,
$20
okay.
or $25 gift certificate or something. So they
Um,
sent me one, and they also showed me my first purchase and my first
mm,
sale, and first item I watched, and I think the first purchase was like a mini disc recorder or something like that. I'm not even too
let's
sure.
see. Um, so when was that this year?
It was this year they celebrated their anniversary. They used to be
Okay.
called something different. They were called auction something.
Mm. No, they didn't send me. I don't think they sent me anything like that. I have had an eBay account for a long time, but I think probably the last time I bought something was like 10 years ago, maybe. So
Really? The last
yeah,
time I bought something was in the last couple of days for sure. I don't remember what it was. I can look. Let's see. That'll be interesting too. Buying.
purchase history. Because I was
Oh
really
no, this
curious
is
to see,
buy
because I
again
have bought at least
purchases.
one thing from eBay, I think, but
I'm sure it was a big box PC game. Oh yes, I bought the UFO Aftermath, which still hasn't
okay.
arrived, on October 5th, new and sealed, but it is like a small DVD-ROM kind of case thing. I
Huh.
don't know, and I think this is also an XCOM type game. Not something maybe that's super popular, but yeah. So Bill Kuhn, if I had somebody in Hawaii, the only problem is they would have to have an Apple II GS or a Kyroflux machine to be able to copy that and dump that disk. But not a lot of people over there are going to have the means to do that. I don't know if it's I don't know if it's archived in a modern way. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's archived on a disk or contacted the librarians. That's true. That's not a bad idea. That's not a
Hmm.
bad idea at all. But I don't know because here's the thing. I mean, under what guise would I contact them? I don't know that they can share IP. Does copyright expire on software after a certain period of time? Because I know in music it doesn't expire till 75 years after the composer's death or after it's been written or something crazy. It's a long time. You think so? You think the library would sell it? There's actually record of the author. So the guy lived nearby from yes, they would be worried about that sort of stuff. Yeah. You're not even supposed to photocopy certain things. Although for educational purposes you can get away with a lot. Like when I was at this I went to Stony Brook University. And when I was there I certainly copied stuff and bought, I think occasionally they do get rid of stuff though, Dave Orr, and sometimes they just give it away, but de-ivory.
They sell books. They sell books at the library they don't want anymore. I've seen that, like 25 cents
Right.
a book or whatever.
Yeah, and I've bought scores and stuff, and I probably kept stuff that I wasn't supposed to, and who knows if they charged me or not from the library. I Some of it was on purpose. Some of it I'm sure wasn't even on purpose. I just like, whoa, I forgot this was under my bed. Oh well, here's the score to Schubert's string quartet. Libraries periodically purge their inventory. Yeah, I mean, this wouldn't be much of an inventory item, like a disc with I don't know, a disc with a booklet. I don't think it had a box.
Day of
Deity,
War.
deify, deivor. Ah, okay, that's your ticket. Annual book sales and such. I mean, if they did sell it, I would definitely be interested in purchasing it because I don't know of anywhere else to get it, and I'm certain my old piano teacher would not have it anymore. She is still alive. My first piano teacher unfortunately passed away, but my second and the piano teacher I had for the longest period of time is still alive. But I'm sure she would have thrown it away or given it to Goodwill or recycled or
You could
whatever.
always ask her. You never know.
I could. She's moved a number of times, and who knows if she'll even remember it. I could. I could try. I could try. I do remember she came to one of my concerts in 2007 or 8, I want to say, in Montana or something.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. Like, to see one of her students like do that and me to see my piano teacher, like I would have never thought being in those piano lessons like I would ever have been a performer of the instrument. Like
Yeah.
I thought I was going to business school. I was going to get my MBA. What happened?
Yeah, what happened? What?
I don't
That's not
know.
related at all.
No, I was ready. I was like, yeah, cool, business. Here we go. Let's go. And now looking back, a screenshot does come up in a Google image search. Is that it? Did you link it? Did you link that screenshot, Mousimus? It's not a two-player game. No, it's definitely not a two-player game. Or if it is, I never played it in two-player mode. It's like a little happy face bouncing ball thing. They won't let you. Oh, because it's Google Images. Well,
Have a
let's
good
see.
night, Holson.
Let's call it up here. So since we can, let's see. This is it. Rhythmicity Basic. Bellevue, Washington. Temporal Acuity Products, 1994. Computer file, 3.5-inch disc. Right. Rhythmic reading, meter perception, and musical porn. It says can be used as a two-person game. Well, there you go. So it can be. 4,900 miles from me. Designed by John Matheny, Rona Matheny, programmed by Arthur Matheny. So it was a family affair. Includes
Have you
identical
contacted
software
your
on
family, maybe?
5.25 disc. If they're around and alive, or if you can even Google them. Oh, here you go. This is a journal article about it. Music Educators Journal,
It doesn't seem
MENC.
to be that common of a name. Maybe you can find them.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, this is part of the collection. Oh, here you go. This is all it is. It was $39.95. Publisher, The Note Factory. Oh, interesting. So there was a publisher. And I wonder, it was runs on Commodore 64. How about that? I didn't know there was a Commodore 64 version. I played the Apple version as I remember it. Apple IIgs is what she had. Because I remember always seeing the discs for Sylphid and Thexter and one of the King's Quest games, I think. They had some Sierra games in their little box there. Computer music systems. You can make every child a star. Please don't. Oh, with a recorder. Yes, definitely. Absolutely. Everybody will become a star playing the recorder.
That would probably be the hardest one to become a star at.
Name a recorder star.
Well, exactly.
Oh, here we go. This is it. This is another download. Holy crap. This download does not exit. Does it exist or does it exit? Oh well. Yeah, these are like these kind of fake BS websites that are trying to just steal data or something.
Hmm.
Yep. Does anyone know where this rhythm program can be purchased? Somebody was using it in 2001 and they were trying to find it. So here's the other option, right? This is one thing I've thought about, is to actually just remake the game. Because I know what it's supposed to do,
Hmm.
but I know what it could be. Or it doesn't even have to be identical to that game. It could just be the same principles. It's a cute grayscale face jumping over notes. Yes, that's what it was.
Hmm.
That is exactly what it was. A cached image. Oh wow. So it's an old one. It's the one. It's the one Dan is looking at, but Google has a cached image from it. Yeah, because it's from 1994. I don't know how the heck they sold it. I guess through magazines, mail order. Wow. Huh. Look at this website. This was written in HTML 1.0. Rhythmicity. How about that? WizTexter researched and wrote the user's guide, working with the program and expanding on some notes from the programmers. The audience is made up of end users not familiar with music or computers. Very, very interesting. But I don't know, man. That would be tough. I mean, they do log it, but documentation, that would be like asking Brenda if she remembers all the documentation for every game she's ever done. John Romero remembers everything he's ever done, but I don't know if she would. Oh, you uploaded it. Sweet. Okay, let me share this. That looks similar to it. That's it. The one I played was definitely in color. The face was yellow. Not a lot of colors because you don't really need a lot, but that's it. So basically, you would hear a click, maybe you get a bar, and then you'd have to press the key in time with this. So this would in 4/4 time. 1, 2, 3, 4. It would be rest 1, rest 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, rest 2, 3, 4. That would be that rhythm, right?
You should totally make it. Yeah, everyone's right.
You could. How would I do it? I don't know. I find a lost. I'm going to say, what's the emotion called where I find a lost with my problem from 2001? I don't know if they found something, found nothing, or were silenced for knowing too much. Very, very possible Deivor. Did I pronounce that right? No?
No, no, you did. Yeah, Day of War. Yeah.
A lost post. Yeah, I mean, I think you could remake this. And what's cool is these are like lives. You see these little ticks here? I think these are lives. So every time you screw up, you lose a life. And there's a lot of practice methods that they used to give you if you were in like high school music class or whatever. Zoom in a bit. Yeah, let me try to do that.
Oh, the day is deity. Oh, yeah, deity. Yeah, sometimes people pronounce it deity as well. Day of
So
War.
it's
Yeah, I just
Deivor?
Deivor. Deivor.
Deivor? Deivor?
Yeah. I've heard. Yeah, we definitely do pronounce it either way here too.
So that's it there. So yeah, if you can read, I mean, it gets considerably more difficult, and it goes along as you go along. It gets more difficult. There's kind of a famous book in music education called Hindemith Elementary Training for Musicians, and you'd think reading a book title like that, right? Elementary training, like that should be pretty easy, pretty basic, right? That book is ridiculous. Like I mean, I've read it. I'm sure I have a copy of it here somewhere. If it's elementary, then I'm kindergarten because the rhythms in there are crazy, and they do it. From what I've heard at really top music conservatories, they do run stuff like that, where they have sight reading classes that are really difficult rhythms. They might have just titled it to be snooty. Paul Hindemith was the guy who wrote it. He is a fairly famous educator, composer in the 20th century. I don't know if I know of any of his music. It's not really my thing, like the stuff he kind of wrote. But his methods were used to help further the education of what we would call Western music now. There's a lot of interesting arguments happening and interesting updating that really needs to happen to how music history is taught, because it only kind of includes the European based music history, which leaves out, I don't know, the rest of the planet. And there was a lot of cool stuff happening, obviously, elsewhere. But he was one of the Western music education. Suzuki, yep. Suzuki is another famous, very famous educator. And Suzuki's method was drastically, or is drastically different from what's available now. Like they can teach kids, 2-year-old, 3-year-old kids to play instruments, violin, piano. There's a Suzuki piano method, although the I think the violin method is the famous
Yes.
one.
Yeah, I've known people who have put their kids in that or something. So yeah,
Yeah, and they're
it's very well known.
super young, right?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
would start with Suzuki super young, because by the time you're 5 or 6 years old, you can start where I would have started when I was young. Kodai, yeah, Kodai.
Interesting.
Kodai is actually spelled really bizarrely. The guy's name is Zoltan Kodai, and I'm forgetting some emphasis somewhere in the spelling of his
Hmm.
name. But he was trying to remember his method. There was also another guy called Karl Orff, and that's something that I had in my schools. That was like in my elementary and middle school. Carl, oops. He was like a big fan of those big marimba things, like the big like xylophone kind of looking things. Okay, so the Kodai method was for really young kids and stuff like that. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think in Canada, in some ways, it was more formalized than it was in the U.S. And the Canadian stuff was coming from British education, as I understand it, or like the Royal Conservatory, stuff like
Hmm.
that. So you guys had like levels. You would have level 1, level 10. We didn't really have exactly level 1, level 10, level whatever. With piano, we just had, we just kind of just did it. I don't know that there was any particular levels. Yeah, grade 4, you would say, grade 5. Grade 4 is pretty high, though, right? Isn't grade 5, or is it grade 10 with the conservatory method? Because I think here they have something, grade 5 is the highest, or grade 5, grade 6 is like professional repertoire. I don't know. But that's really classical, what they would consider classical Western music, European stuff. Yeah. So grade 4 is pretty high then. So you could really play. Nice,
Nice,
Anna. I
nice,
didn't know
Anna.
that. Very nice. Well, that's cool. Listen, I think we did more than show and tell and music education, and we got our little piece done that we needed.
Did. We
So
certainly did.
we accomplished a lot, I think. For
Yeah, the formalized grading of music, it kind of leads me to think, with the visual art, there has never been that same type of very formalized study like that. I don't think. I could be totally missing out, though.
um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the deal was there. Um, I don't know. Couldn't tell you.
I'm glad, Anna, you look forward to Tuesdays. It's nice to have you on,
Oh,
Anna.
absolutely. Well, I think we should jump on a raid and raid somebody, and we should close this off. What do you think?
Sounds good. We've covered a lot of ground.
Good. Beautiful. I like talking about rhythmicity, because now, it's out there in the ether, and maybe something will come back and we'll get something of it. Yeah. That would be pretty cool. Oh, thank you, Bill.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. So, yeah, I have a couple of people on here, and I would love to, if he's still playing it. Yep, he's playing Castlevania 3 on NES. This guy, I really love what he does with his stream. This guy called Middle Age Stream. I don't know if you guys know him. We could raid him. We could raid our buddy the Renaissance, who's playing Demon's Crest on SNES. That's awesome. Let's see. I've been watching this guy called Divine Dev Studios every once in a while, but he is doing